It's the game that many have expected to see in the NFC. Two division rivals and a pair of regular season thrillers. A fight for the Super Bowl representation in the NFC. The Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Those who can frame of reference will turn back to weeks 11 and 16. These two teams have combined for a margin of a combined 3 points between these two. The Rams won by 2 in week 11, with a turnover-filled struggle for the Seahawks, with Sam Darnold getting intercepted 4 times. And then a frantic, seemingly unstoppable comeback effort to the Rams in Los Angeles, at Seattle actually, in week 16, trailing by 16 points. Down 30-14, and it's the first such comeback for the Seahawks when trailing by at least 15 points, in which they won in franchise history. It's the first such instance in NFL history of teams that split a regular season series with a combined margin of 1 point or fewer meeting in a conference championship game. In both previous instances, the winner prevailed by double digits. The vibes here, however, suggest it might end up being much closer. Hello everyone, I am Alec Nava. Welcome to Lumen Field in Seattle, Washington. Winner of this game will face the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60 at Santa Clara. They go on to the must-know storylines. The elite defense of Seattle is built on statistical anomalies, none being more impressive than the fashion in which the Seahawks generate pressure. They own the 4th highest pressure rate at 38.9% of dropbacks in the NFL, despite blitzing at the 8th lowest frequency. The Seahawks also lack a single player in the top 25 in total pressures, rarely rely on base defense, usually living in nickel or dime, and having a stifling coverage unit regardless of man or zone. Seattle's the only team to rank in the top 5 in yards per play allowed in both styles. They are preparing to face Matthew Stafford, who owns the lowest passer rating under pressure at 24.8 of any signal caller in this playoffs, boding well for Seattle's chances of limiting the top scoring offense. On the other sideline, Sam Darnold, the NFL's leader in giveaways with 20, crumbles under pressure. 11 of his 20 giveaways came under pressure, 6 interceptions and 5 fumbles lost this season, while 7.2% of his dropbacks under pressure resulted in a giveaway. The solution to this NFC Championship game, then, is simple for both teams. Get after the QB. Darnold has established a reputation for wilting in big games, especially against the Rams, owning a 1-3 record against them since Chris Shula took over as defensive coordinator in 2024. He's responsible for 8 giveaways against them. In that span, the most by any quarterback against any single opponent. Stafford remains a bit more unpredictable in this matchup, posting both the season high and season low marks in passing yards against Seattle. 130 in week 11, 457 in week 16. He delivered a sparkling performance in the latter contest, which ended in a heartbreaking defeat, but has struggled in 2 playoff games as evidenced above and carries an 0-3 record with the Rams when facing the top scoring defense on the road. Which version of Stafford will the Rams get is anyone's question. Secondly is about the absence of Zach Charbonnet. Seattle's run to the NFC Championship Game was always initially pointed to the excellence of his defense, but the running game has also played an essential role. It began around week 10, but truly took a leap from week 16 onward. They've averaged 172.3 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns per game in that span, while gaining 9.5 first downs via runs, revealing a strength that is suddenly a defining trait of Quint Kubiak's offense. Much of that was built on the two-headed attack of Kenneth Walker III and Charbonnet, but the Seahawks will take the field with Charbonnet out for the year of an ACL tear. Can Walker handle a larger share of backfield snaps and effectively replace Charbonnet? He accounted for 1+ scrimmage yards in each of his 3 games against the Rams, including a 164-yard showing in the Week 16 win. But the challenge only increases with Walker as the only backfield threat remaining for Seattle. If the Seahawks can't establish the ground game, this will shift the onus onto Darnold, potentially backing Seattle into a corner they don't want to encounter, which makes Walker's role that much more important of a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. So we go to the Rams' keys of this game. First is interior pressure on Darnold. This applies to any game with Darnold under center. The Rams have to be able to get pressure. It's also not just about getting any pressure, but they have to get pressure up the middle and from the interior. That is when mistakes happen with Darnold. In 2 games against the Rams this season, Darnold threw 6 picks. 4 of them from pressure, 3 of them interior. The Rams have to be able to make Darnold uncomfortable and start to question what he is seeing on the field. This season, he is the 28th ranked quarterback against pressure with an EPA per dropback of minus .58. In weeks 11 and 16, he is 11 of 22 with 3 interceptions and an EPA per dropback of minus .97 against pressure. However, the Seahawks are very aware of what they have under center. It's a team and coaching staff that knows the only thing that can derail this defense is that they built is the QB. Since week 11, the Seahawks have been hiding Darnold more. It was an eye-opener in the sense that when he self-destructs, the team goes down with him and has a tendency to snowball. That's also why the Rams can't just pressure Darnold, but they need to get after him and create sacks. On plays following a sack, he's averaging 1.1 air yards per attempt. The Seahawks effectively pulled a plug on Darnold and it ends the drive. If Darnold is gun-shy, the turnovers don't happen, they have to have a repeat of the wildcard game last year, which they got to him with 9 sacks. Second is to take away Walker. Tying into the first point, but the reason why the Seahawks have been able to hide Darnold is because of the resurgence of the ground game. It's basically the opposite of the Rams. From weeks 1 through 11, the Rams defense allowed a rushing success rate of 47.7%, top 10 among defenses. Their 1.5% explosive run rate allowed was tied with the Broncos for the best in the NFL. Since then, that success rate has remained exactly the same at 47.7%, but the 5.5 explosive run rate allowed is 6th highest. Quentin Lake being back allows the Rams to defend the run on early downs and nickel, which should limit the explosive runs. If the Rams can get Darnold and the Seahawks offense into further longs, they are 24th in EPA per dropback when passing on late downs since week 10. 3 of Darnold's interceptions have come in passing situations on 3rd down. The Rams have to win in the run game on early downs to force the Seahawks into the dropback passing game. Walker is inefficient down to down, ranking 45th out of 49 running backs in success rate, but he's second in the NFL explosive run rate at 8.1% and is first in missed tackles forced per attempt at .28. Third is protection. Should the Rams win, Stafford has to be better than he has been in the last 2 weeks. That's not to say he has been bad, because he's shown up in a big way when they've needed him, but at the same time he disappeared for almost half the game in both playoff wins. The Rams averaged .59 EPA per pass in the first and fourth overtime/quarters. In the second and third, that's just .56 in the negative side. That's because of the pressure that the Panthers and Bears were able to generate. It's easy to point that last year's overtime win against Seattle, in which the Rams offense disappeared for stretches, or the win this year, as evidence that they can still communicate all throughout. They can still win with defense. But that's not to say the defense can't win this game, but it's going to be more difficult if the offense of Stafford disappear for a long stretch. The Seahawks are too good for Stafford to go on another stretch during this game in which he struggles to complete a pass. The Rams are only going to go as far as Stafford takes them, and that starts with protecting the QB. The Seahawks defense is much better than the one they played in the first 2 games in the playoffs. They have a defense in front that can get after the QB, and the Rams need to be able to communicate the protection calls in a hostile environment, especially on the right side with Warren McClendon Jr. When it comes to the Seattle defense, the margins are thinner. There's a reason they've allowed 1 touchdown since week 16, none of the last 2 games. This is the number 1 defense since week 12. That said, Stafford is one of the few quarterbacks that can hit the tight windows and attack the Seahawks over the middle of the field. To get Stafford to those throws, they have to protect him. Fourth is to run the ball as an extension of the offense. The Rams actually had success running the ball against the Seahawks. They have a 53.8% rushing success rate, which was the worst success rate the Seahawks have allowed in a game this season. One of the major matchups is with Kevin Dotson back up against the Seattle interior. But it would be a mistake for the Rams to go strength on strength and run at the brick wall that's the Seahawks defensive front. When they run, it needs to be inside to avoid the negative plays. But this isn't a game that the Rams should run the ball 40 times. The run game needs to be an extension of the passing game and something used to keep the offense on track and ahead of the sticks. It needs to be used as something that they can do to keep the Seahawks on check. Seattle's pass defense goes from very good to above average against empty. It's a way for the Rams to spread Seattle out and have them declare their coverage. The Rams can attack with quick passes that Stafford has excelled with in recent weeks, especially on early downs to keep the offense on track. Something the Rams should be able to lean into, especially with Davante Adams back. It's also one way the Rams can replace the run game. It's not to say they should abandon the run. They have to rely on it to some extent to keep this defense in check and set the deep passing attack off play action. However, this is one way the Rams can attack the Seahawks corner group that has struggled to defend Puka Nacua. In these 2 games, he has 19 catches for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 225-yard game in Week 16. Now for Seattle, on the key matchups that can decide this game. Sam Darnold's key to each of the game for both the Seahawks and the Rams. If the Seahawks can keep Darnold focused, he can deliver the ball to great windows for his pass catchers to not only make plays, but also get more yards after the catch. The Rams get the lead if they get Darnold over Fink. He's thrown 6 picks in the 2 regular season games, but outside that, he's been efficient, completing 65.4% of his passes for an average of 274.5 yards. He's been incredibly proficient with the ball when given time to throw and not psyching himself out with multiple coverage defenders on the field. If the Rams can get Darnold to throw the ball over, that takes away from one of their big keys. Second is the pass rush of Seattle. It's no secret that the Seahawks have one of the most aggressive and talented pass rushers in the league. They have accounted for 47 sacks as a team, with 4 players having 6 or more sacks. While the defense is full of tenacious defenders, the Seahawks haven't sacked Matthew Stafford since 2023. A lot of it comes from the short passing game, but a lot comes with a good blocking at the Rams' offensive line, which gave up only 23 sacks in the regular season, tied for the fewest in the league. Stafford, however, has been sacked 5 times in the 2 playoff games, including 4 in the win over the Bears in the divisional round. If there's a time for the Seahawks pass rush led by Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy II, and DeMarcus Lawrence, it'll be for a chance to get to the Super Bowl. Third is Kenneth Walker and Kyron Williams. Darnold and Stafford are going to be the key factors of the game, but the matchup is going to be a fight for every yard. Both running games will be huge factors. For the 2 playoff games, Williams ran for 444 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging 4.2 yards per run against defenses that are either average or below in team defenses. Walker and the Seahawks running offense has been on fire for the last 4 games, including the 41-6 home win over the 49ers. He ran for 364 yards and 4 touchdowns on 61 carries for an average of 6 yards per run. Last week, it is Rashid Shaheed on the return game. How efficient he's been on offense and special teams has been huge for the Seahawks. His 58-yard punt return in the middle of the 4th quarter gave the Seahawks a spark to complete that comeback. He was also one of the biggest reasons why the Rams fired their special teams coordinator Chase Blackburn after the game. He also made some critical first downs to receiver. He also made a key running play against the 49ers last week. Plus, the opening kickoff return touchdown, 95 yards. And the Seahawks never looked back. If Seattle finds unique ways to utilize Shaheed, it will be a mentally demoralizing play again. Now let's go to our starting lines, beginning with the 5th-seeded Rams, the visitors. On our center, it is Matthew Stafford. The running back is Kyron Williams. The outside receivers are Davante Adams and Puka Nacua. The slot receiver is Jordan Whittington. The tight end is Colby Parkinson. Offensive line left to right, Alaric Jackson, Steve Avila, Coleman Shelton, Kevin Dotson, Warren McClendon Jr. For the defense, on the Rams begins with Pona Ford and Kobe Turner up front as the defensive tackles. Edge rushers are Byron Young and Jared Verse. Inside linebackers are Nate Landman and Omar Speights. Outside corners, Kobe Durant and Emmanuel Forbes. Quentin Lake is the slot corner. Cam Curl and Cam Kinchins are the safeties. The special teams, led by Harrison Mevis, the kicker, Ethan Evans, the punter, Jake McQuaid, the long snapper. The return specialists are Xavier Smith and Ronnie Rivers. Now the Seahawks starting lineups. Sam Darnold is under center. Kenneth Walker the third is the running back. Jackson Smith-Njigba and Rashid Shaheed are the outside receivers. Cooper Kupp, the hometown boy, is the slot receiver. A.J. Barner is the tight end. Offensive line from left to right, Charles Cross, Gray Zabel, Jalen Sundell, Anthony Bradford, and Abe Lucas. Now their defense. The defensive tackles are Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy II. Edge rushers are DeMarcus Lawrence and Uchenna Nwosu. Inside linebackers are Drake Thomas and Ernest Jones IV. Outside corners are Devon Witherspoon and Josh Jobe. The slot corner is Nick Eamon-Worry. The deep safeties are Julian Love and Kobe Bryant. On the special teams, the kicker is Jason Myers. The punter is Michael Dixon. The long snapper is Chris Stoll. And the return specialists are Shaheed and Derek Young. Head coaches are Sean McVay for the Rams, Mike McDonald for the Seahawks. Our referee is Clay Martin. The umpires Terry Killens, down judge David Oliver, line judge Kent Payne, field judge Trey Boger, side judge Anthony Jeffries, back judge Jonah Monroe, replay official is Chad Adams, replay assistant Chris Rapere. The alternate officials are Carl Sheffers, Brandon Cruz, Patrick Holt, Brian Perry, Anthony Fleming, Keith Washington, Dino Paganelli, and Denise Krudop. So we are getting set to go here at Lumen Field. The Patriots beat the Broncos 10-7 earlier on the day, in which the snow picked up near the end by that second half, and it only worsened throughout. The field conditions are worse than what are seen in TV, as was shown in that game. It was snowing in blizzard conditions. There was a combined 4 missed field goals, and the majority of that came in that second half. HungryMako, happy to have you join along for this game. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Alec?
Oh, man. What a day of football. What a day it's been in Denver. And I know for a fact the snow is going to be a major discussion. Many are questioning Sean Payton's decision to not kick the field goal on 4th and 1 near the end of the first half. Do you think that was the wrong call?
To be honest with you, I didn't watch the first game today. But what I'm doing today, right now, is I'm going to watch the Rams and Seahawks, and I'm going to listen to you do the broadcast.
Hey.
Because I would rather listen to you than Tom Brady and whoever that other guy is.
Kevin Burkhardt?
Yes, that guy.
Shade. Oof. And don't get me wrong. Even for my feelings of Tom Brady, I respect him for what he did on the field. Though there are times in which he's been having his moments as a broadcaster. There are other times in which it's, But the shade he threw at Patrick Mahomes in the last Seahawks game with Brock Purdy running for his life against Seattle. I mean, the Seahawks gave him absolutely nothing to work with. And Purdy and the 49ers were pounded repeatedly.
Well, I'll say this. It's hard not to admire what Brady did on the field. I mean, the guy won 7 Super Bowls, 6 with one team and 1 on another. Both in representing both conferences, it's pretty impressive. I'm glad that he's on board with Caleb Williams. I think it was nice to listen to him during one of those Packer games. He seemed pretty excited about Caleb Williams, so. I have to admit, I was wrong about Caleb Williams myself. I'm very glad that he's the Bears quarterback. So, I'll just say that, Tom Brady.
And I can't wait for him to eventually throw for 4,000 yards in a season. At this point, it's a matter of when, not if he throws for 4,000 yards. We can talk about accuracy here and there, but the fact of the matter being that he is the future franchise quarterback. Speaking of Brady's Patriots, well, this isn't exactly Brady's Patriots. It's Drake May and Mike Vrabel's Patriots. In that game, both the Patriots and Broncos combined for a total of 387 total yards. May passed for 86 yards. Jarrett Stidham had 133 yards. And the conditions only worsened with that blizzard over at Denver, Colorado. But it was always going to be an ugly game because of the elements, for that matter. So now, New England is waiting for the winner of this game to advance to Super Bowl 60 at Santa Clara, which is in the San Francisco Bay Area, right where, going back to the theme of Tom Brady, that was where he grew up.
That is where he grew up. I gotta admit, I live right outside Seattle, so I'm rooting for the Hawks. the 12s up here are very excited to see the Seahawks back to relevancy. I think it's going to be a tough test for Sam Darnold. He's historically not been great in big games, but I think the Seahawks rely more on the running game than Sam Darnold, to be honest with you. And they do have, I mean, they have what is possibly the best wide receiver in the game right now in JSN. And I'd like to see Cooper Kupp get a little bit of payback for the Rams, too. So,
Yep. Yeah, Cooper Kupp, now a Seahawk. He's with his hometown team. He grew up in the state of Washington and went to college at Eastern Washington University. So this is a nice homecoming for him, playing a playoff game for the Seahawks and a chance to get revenge on the team that drafted you in the Los Angeles Rams. But also, it's important to note that even though he's not what he was, he's a culture setter for the Seahawks. He and DeMarcus Lawrence are both culture setters, and culture setters are some of the most underrated and more valuable pieces that you can have on a team. Well, Sam Darnold wasn't utilized much against San Francisco last week. He didn't need to do much. And the times in which he was utilized, he delivered on timely throws. His passer rating against the 49ers in that game, he finished with a passer rating of around 119, just 12 of 17, 124 yards, 7.3 yards per attempt, and had one touchdown. It's a 110.9 passer rating actually. So I didn't miss out by much, but you didn't have to be relied on too much. It was the ground game and the defense that did most of the work. Kenneth Walker on 19 carries, 116 yards. But the challenge is going to get tougher for him because Zach Charbonnet is out for the year with a torn ACL. We don't know when Charbonnet is going to come back, but we assume he should be ready at either before next season or at some point next season. And it's not to mention that Walker ran for 3 touchdowns in that game, and Darnold threw a touchdown strike to Jackson Smith-Njigba, who only had 3 catches and 19 yards. They didn't need to do too much with the way that Seattle dominated San Francisco. Two forced fumbles from Tank Lawrence, both recovered by Julian Love and Nick Eamon-Worry. Eamon-Worry, in my mind, who should be the winner of Defensive Rookie of the Year for his utilization all across the field, that he can line up anywhere. And it's been one of the most impactful players on the Seahawks. The Defensive Rookie of the Year is down to between him and Carson Schwarzenegger of the Cleveland Browns. What a draft class the Browns have had last year. Just moments away from the opening kickoff, and there are some headlines around the league in which is also of discussion. Jonathan Gannon was hired by the Green Bay Packers as the defensive coordinator, replacing Jeff Hafley, who has become the Miami Dolphins head coach, hired by another former Packer, who is now the team's GM of Miami, John Eric Sullivan. Bobby Slowick has been promoted to offensive coordinator of the Fins. Arthur Smith was the next domino to fall of the Mike Tomlin resignation. He has now taken the offensive coordinator job at Ohio State University. Mike McCarthy is now the Steelers head coach. Many were expecting it to be Chris Shula. Seattle won the coin toss. They have deferred to the second half. And this scene, the 12th man is going crazy here. And on a cold night and cold day in Seattle, which is seeing the entire country see a historic snowstorm / blizzard all across the Midwest / East Coast, north of the state of Florida. Here it's 41 degrees Fahrenheit at Seattle, but the winds are not going to be a factor for this game. The blizzards were affecting Denver. And what a good season they've had, and unfortunately it ended in a FUD just like that. Seahawks won the toss. They're going to defer to the second half. Rams will get the ball first. These two, the front runners to win the Super Bowl, Jordan Whittington and Ronnie Rivers, are back deep to return the kick as Jason Myers is practicing his kickoff routine. Whittington, who is slated to be the slot man in between Nakua and Adams. Myers advances and kicks it off. Here we go. Let's get rocking and rolling. A chance for Super Bowl 60. Up the middle and then to the left is Whittington. Able to return it to the 30 where he is crowded and met. And here we are introduced to Matthew Stafford in the offense. Connor O'Toole with the tackle. Stafford, the front runner for the MVP, has a 6-1 record against the Seahawks in his career. The only loss was Week 16 this season. And we're going to be curious to see if they're going to have 13 personnel or 11 personnel. They could use more 11 personnel like they did in their Super Bowl run 4 years ago, as Nakua motions to the right of Tyler Higbee. Here's Kyron Williams through the middle, and he is bunched up at the 35-yard line. The initial line scrimmage was the 31. That's a 4-yard run. Ernest Jones, the fourth, the former Los Angeles Ram, with the tackle. Do remember that Kevin Dotson came back for this Rams playoff run before the win over the Carolina Panthers. The Rams do not have history on their side. Teams that started on the road, having played the first 2 games on the road in outdoor stadiums, are 0-15 in the NFC Championship Game. Stafford to throw it on 2nd and 6. Slings it over the middle, and that's caught by Puka Nacua. It's a short gain, maybe about 4 yards, and it's 3rd and 2. It is only 3rd and short, but this Seahawks defense is a wrecking ball no matter what happens in any situation. The Rams have converted 40% on 3rd down this season, right around league average, 17th in the NFL, but they're 8-29 in this postseason. Something's got to give here for them. Stafford to throw off against a 4-man rush. High throw and incomplete. Tariq Woolen with the coverage as Stafford overthrew Nakua on 3rd and 3. Could have had that one. And it's a combination of a 4-man rush. It's a great throw, but that's something that Nakua could have caught it, tried to squeeze it with one hand, and instead of a catch, it is Ethan Evans to punt to the dangerous Rashid Shaheed. You do not want to punt to this guy. He returned the punt for a touchdown Week 16, and Evans sends it. Shaheed back deep. It's an early 3-and-out. Shaheed calls for the fair catch at the 19-yard line, and this is where the Hawks will start this drive. The Rams defense ranked 10th in the NFL in scoring defense. The Seahawks have the top-ranked scoring defense in the NFL. Sam Darnold with 29 wins in the last 2 seasons, including postseason, the most in the NFL. One of 5 quarterbacks in league history to have back-to-back seasons of at least 13 wins, and the only one to do it for 2 different teams. Darnold needing a change of scenery, and he got exactly that in Minnesota, led them to a big contract with Seattle, banking on that potential. It's an inside handoff for Walker, trying to find a hole, and he does, for the smallest of lanes, before being met by Cam Curl, the former Washington Commander. It's a 2-headed monster on the backfield, but they lose the second half of the 2-headed monster with Charbonnet exiting last week to a torn ACL. George Holani, who was activated from the IR before this game, he's now in the game to the right of Abe Lucas, the right tackle. They're utilizing JSN as a running back here as cut motions left to the slot. 2nd and 5. Rams in a blitz. Darnold feeling the pressure, trying to get it out, but it bounces off of JSN's right hand. Nate Landman had some good coverage, and the blitz worked out that time for Chris Shula. Braden Fisk, another Florida State man, reuniting with Jared Verse in the same draft class that they went together. And this Rams defense is in good hands post Aaron Donald, who was named honorary captain of the Rams for this game. The Seahawks have Cam Chancellor as an honorary captain. He was part of that Legion of Boom with Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman on that secondary. On 3rd and 5, the Rams send 4. Darnold, well protected. He's one on the right side, wide open. Has his man Shaheed wrapped up on the legs at the 25-yard line. There's the explosive play coming from the speedster. He returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown last week against San Francisco, and right off the bat, he burns Darius Williams with the legs, and Williams was not able to catch up with the fastest man on the field today. Sets up the Seahawks right on Rams territory, and Darnold loves to see that. Shaheed earns himself a well-earned rest. 59 catches, 687 yards, and 2 touchdowns this season. Quick throw right side. Pass the screen as JSN has the first down. Forced out by Quentin Lake. It's 1st and goal as he is inside the 10. And immediately the Seahawks threatening to strike. Rashid Shaheed with that 51-yard catch and run down the right sideline as he is getting his resume up and going down the right sideline. And that's an A-plus throw from Darnold to identify the coverage. It was man coverage the whole way between him and Williams. 54% season average on red zone offense for the Seahawks. That ranks 21st throughout the regular season. Moshi Rise Eric Saubert, whose only target was that 2-point conversion in Week 16 as Kenneth Walker tries to cut right, and he only gets 3 yards out of it. Shaheed and Darnold don't have the greatest chemistry, but the special teams have been an important factor for the Seahawks with Shaheed as he was acquired at the trade deadline. They need to find a consistent wide receiver 3 behind JSN and Cooper Kupp, and Shaheed provides that stability. With them, Jake Bobo and Derek Young are the other 2 active wide receivers for the Seahawks on this day. Motioning right is Saubert. They'll go back to Walker. Kenneth Walker trying to cut and trying to get an extra push. Gets forced back, gets away, falls forward, and down to 2. And it looked like for a moment that forward progress was going to be stopped. But Walker kept his feet upright, and the inside run paid off as he got away from the initial tackle from Puna Ford. Brought him down before getting brought down from behind by Darius Williams. It's the toughness of Walker that he showcases. Seahawks showing run here on 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Trying to pounce it in for the touchdown. They're going back to Walker. Cuts right. Trying to get the edge on Young. Dives for the touchdown. There's a K9 on the loose. And the dog puts Seattle on the board first. An electric start for the Seahawks at this Lumen Field crowd. Walker cuts the edge right, seeing the inside was taken away. And he gets the advantage on Byron Young, the Rams sack leader with 12 sacks this season. This Young back from the left hash. The extra point is good. And just like that, it is 7-0 Seahawks. Seattle residents want the Mariners to make the World Series earlier on the 2025 season. That didn't come to fruition, but the Seahawks wanted to have some form of happiness for Seattle residents. Here they are. We'll be right back in a moment. 7-0 Seahawks with 5 minutes and 3 seconds elapsed time here in this NFC Championship game. Winner faces the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60, and no matter who wins, we are guaranteed a rematch of a previous Super Bowl. If it's Patriots-Rams, it's a rematch of Super Bowl 36 and Super Bowl 53. The Patriots went 2-0 in those games. In that first one, famous for one of the biggest upsets in Super Bowl history, with Tom Brady and the Patriots taking down the greatest show on turf, led by Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, and Isaac Bruce. This is returned back to the 27 from Whittington, and the Rams will start there. In the case of its Patriots-Seahawks, it's a rematch of Super Bowl 49, and we have a shoving match here, nothing further, as Coy Martin and company were there to separate the two sides, and nothing came out of that. Good job by this officiating crew early. And Seattle shown that they can move the ball with it the air and through the ground with Kenneth Walker, and showing a lot of consistency on the ground. The Rams have shown they can take away Sam Darnold, as the Seahawks have been hiding Darnold more and more in this down the stretch. But Darnold, even though he didn't have to do much, he did what was asked. Blake Corum up the middle, and he gets 3 yards, a short gain. And against this defense, so tough to go up against, they know what to do here. Derek Hall, also part of this rotation. Uchenna Nwosu can slot in either as a linebacker or an edge rusher. He is versatile. The Seahawks can go with a mixture of 3-4 and 4-3, but they primarily run a 3-4 scheme under Mike McDonald. 2nd and 7 here. Single back set for the Rams. It's a play fake. Stafford steps left, airs it down the right side. Wide open is Nakua. Grabbed at the 25. On a big connection. That's the one that Stafford wants. Down the near sideline. The response from the presumptive MVP. Stafford felt the pressure from DeMarcus Lawrence, steps left, and throws towards Nakua's direction. And that is what he wants out of his number one receiver. The second leading receiver in the entire NFL. And the answer there from Stafford on a 50-plus yard bomb. He's going to throw again. Lucky end zone this time for Nakua. It's overthrown. Nakua tried to get away from the contact. No flag on the play. 2nd and 10. Sean McVay is 10-5 in the postseason, 2-0 in the NFC Championship game. One of those times he went on to win the Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals, Super Bowl 56, 23-20. The other was a 13-3 loss against the New England Patriots in the Pats' 6th and most recent Super Bowl. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Stafford looks on a 4-man rush, looking end zone again to Adams. Felt contact, he's looking for a flag. Not catchable, it's 3rd down. In the last matchup, Adams missed that matchup with a hamstring injury. Nakua went off for 225 receiving yards. Seahawks making wholesale substitutions to their defense. And on 3rd and long, you think that they're going to get something here. That previous passing completion for Stafford went for 44 yards. Trips left, 1 right. Nakua in motion all the way to the far side left. Stafford deep drop back. Swings it middle and it's underthrown as Nakua slipped. And so it's going to be a field goal try for the Rams. It's an inaccurate throw at time. Off speed. And Stafford was a little uncomfortable in the pocket as the Seahawks got pressure, and they're able to do so while sending only 4. They're so good at sending pressure, they don't even need to blitz. Harrison Mevis tried this one from 44 yards at the right hash. He is 4-4 this postseason. The longest is 46 yards. And this kick is down in the middle between the uprights. The Ficker kicker in his first year out of Mizzou gets the Rams on the board. 8:15 left in its first quarter. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Lumen Field in Seattle, Washington. The Seahawks and Rams in a battle of NFC West heavyweights. The last time we had an NFC Championship game between NFC West rivals was the Seahawks and was the Rams and the 49ers on the way to a bid for Super Bowl 56. Off to a good start here. The previous NFC Championship games have been Eagles 49ers, which was Eagles Commanders, which was last year, and for a spot in Super Bowl 59. That was the last divisional in-division NFC Championship game. Then in the years before that, it was 49ers Lions, 49ers Eagles, Rams 49ers, Buccaneers Packers, 49ers Packers, Saints Rams, and Eagles Vikings before that, as the Seahawks get set from the 35-yard line off that touchback. Single back set, motion left is Barner. They're staying with the ground with Walker. Has a huge hole to run, but quickly noticed and closed off before Walker fights for 5 yards off of that. That outside zone run was key on the left side. So many aspects of this offense, and the defense has been pursuing from the line. So much has been set up for the Seahawks on short gains and consistent plays that they can run through. Open holes by this offensive line, which is open up. Charles cross-side extension for this postseason. Strong side eye set for the Seahawks. Play fake to Holani. Darnold pump fakes. Left side Barner. Caught. And he gets it for first down. The ball came out in the end, but it's out of bounds. Past the first down marker. A.J. Barner 6 yards out of that. The ball popped free. And then when the quarterback is out the pocket, you think that there will be only one place to throw, and that's the wide open target. It could be anywhere, but most likely it's going to be towards the side of the field in which he is at. Not across the body, because throwing across the body would be a monumental mistake. Rashid Shaheed motioning all the way to the right. Here's Walker one more time. A lot of space to run through, and it is 8 yards out of this. He had a big game against the Rams, and he had a big game against the 49ers just last week. A hat trick of touchdowns and a 100-plus yard game. Not quite an all-pro, but he's playing like an all-pro right now. Warren's 72 yards per game in the last 4 games for Seattle's rushing offense. 5.2 yards per rush with 6 touchdowns. 2nd and 2. On the motion right, it is Jake Bobo. He is right behind Charles Cross. They'll give it back to Walker. Starter steps. Another first down. And he is past the 40-yard line to the 39 in Rams territory. He just keeps on going. He's making a miss in the backfield as he shimmies past Omar Speights and makes Jared Verse miss right afterwards. The shiftiness of Kenneth Walker is something else. The juke move was something to be prioritized. And there's no way the Rams could stop that run by having to tackle him beyond the sticks. Trips right, 1 left. Darnold in a pistol set. This time it's a play fake. Darnold dumps off right side for Walker on the screen. Has a lot of running room to go with. A first down before he gets tripped up by Kobe Durant at the 24-yard line. It is 15 yards for K9. They're continuing with the passing game throughout. And we're having some technical difficulties right now. The game has been restored, but a little technical difficulties. The feed glitched out for a moment. You remember, it's a historical blizzard all throughout. And let's look back. In week 1, the Las Vegas Raiders defeated the New England Patriots. Had that not happened, the AFC Championship game would have been a Gillette Stadium in which the turf is buried a feet under snow. To the left is Walker and a rare stuff this time, Kobe Turner. and Braden Fisk both there, a loss of 1. So at that time, the Rams closed off the gap that time while anticipating the outside run to the left. Turner and Fisk closed off the hole. They'll say that Walker got back to the line of scrimmage. And this running game, so efficient for the Seahawks as of late. And it's making a big difference. A.J. Barner lined up at the left side. 2 left, 2 right, shotgun set. Rams splits. Darnold throws left side, wide open. Smith-Njigba stays in bounds for a moment. But a nice little game. Roger McCreary was all over him. And his third and about 2 yards at those shifts. 3rd and 2 with less than 4 minutes left in this first quarter. And already the Seahawks are off to a good start. Darnold is 5-6 for 95 yards. He has already passed Drake May's total passing yards in the NFC Championship. That's Smith-Njigba's second catch, 24 yards. 3rd and 2.5. The Seahawks are 2 for 2 on 3rd down. Both of them are in short yardage situations. 2 left, 2 right. They'll fake the handoff. Darnold rolls out left side. Has Curl on his left. And one-handed! Wow! JSN putting on a highlight reel. He comes over from the other side of the field on a deep crosser route and is able to grab that with... How many fingertips was that? It's got to be his hands. George Holani towards the right has nowhere to run. Closed off easily. Loss of 2. He's locked in. And it's a tiny bit of room on the left side right over Kobe Durant. The concentration he has on catching this one-handed with his right hand. Oh my goodness. And the most dominant wide receiver in the league right now is showcasing its worth. 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line. Single back, Walker's the running back. They'll go with Walker on the run play, up the middle, able to get to the 5-yard line. 4 progress stopped, and we have our first flag on this game with 2:07 left in the first. It's taken 12 minutes and 53 seconds, and we're assuming this is going to be a hold. It's a holding penalty, as announced by Quay Martin, who was in his first conference championship appearance as a lead referee. Congratulations to him on getting his first selection to a conference championship. It's a double team blocked on by Anthony Bradford and Jalen Sundell. Bradford getting caught with a hold on Puna Ford, which allowed all that sort of room to open up through the middle. And Bradford, much has been said about him, and possibly the need to replace him at right guard. Gray Zabel, a first-round pick, arguably the best rookie out of this draft class. Seattle's now at the 19-yard line. JSN motioning behind Darnold towards the left. He looks that way. Now sets up the screen at the right side for Walker. Can have Walker able to get the penalty yardage back down at the 9-yard line. So they get the penalty yardage back. And it's 3rd and goal. And a big decision time coming up for the Seahawks. And you wonder if the Rams are going to be aggressive here on 3rd and goal to defend this red zone play. Seattle has been below average in the red zone on offense. They've been one of the best defensively in every category. Shotgun set for the Seahawks with Cooper Kupp motion left now, trips left, 1 right. The Rams have allowed a touchdown on 7 of 8 drives this postseason in the red zone. They have to improve there as Darnold throws his strike left side. Incomplete. A.J. Barner, the target. Kobe Durant almost had his 3rd interception of the postseason. He had to last week against the Bears. And this was a quarter round. It'll look like that almost was going to be pass interference on the offense had this been caught by Barner. Mike McDonald shaking his head. Jason Myers, his postseason career, 7 of 9. His career long is 56. All of that with the Seahawks. He has never been to the postseason as a member of the New York Jets. It's a chip shot, right hash, 27 yards. snap, spot, kick. It's good. And the Seahawks, despite the spectacular grab from Jason, it only resulted in a field goal. 10-3 they lead with 54 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll be right back. The turnaround the Seahawks have made, going from Pete Carroll to Mike McDonald, has been outstanding. And the second year with him under the helm, a 14-win season, top seed in the NFC, with the best defense in the NFL. It's not the Legion of Boom, but it is the dark side defense that they have nicknamed this. Return for the 10-yard line, and up the middle goes Whittington, who returns this to the 35, which would be the equivalent of returning this and getting a touchback. And the fans are on their feet here. The 12th man coming alive as the Rams offense retakes the field. Seattle's defense has dictated this game, and the total yardage has been firmly in favor of the Hawks. 147-54. Nakua in motion. It's a single back set. Run to the left for Williams. Trying to find room. The former Ram Jones there to limit him to 3. Ernest Jones, who was key to that Super Bowl run 4 years ago with the Rams as the leading tackler. He's made this defense into what it is today as the vocal leader wearing the green dot. He's the leading tackler of this unit. Jaron Reed is out there for Seattle as one of 2 interior linemen. Motioning right, I believe it's Davis Allen. It is Williams with a lot of speed to run through. Takes it to midfield for the first down to end the first quarter. It'll take us to the second. The Seahawks lead it 10-3. On the touchdown from Kenneth Walker, set up by a long haul from Rashid Shaheed. The next 15 minutes will be underway when we come back. Lumen Field, Arrowhead Stadium, the two largest stadiums in the league, were one of the two loudest stadiums in the league, were one of the two loudest here in Seattle, Washington. The Shaheed Quake took place last week when Shaheed took the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Motion left is Puka Nacua, who's lined up at the slot, who was mentored by Cooper Kupp in his early years. It's a jet sweep right side for Nacua. Gets hit once, now twice, takes it 4 yards. That was the play that led to the Rams' game-winning touchdown in Super Bowl 56, a jet sweep from Cooper Kupp. They lost Odell Beckham Jr. to a season-ending injury for next season and that game. A non-contact injury. As Nacua ran this one towards the right, Sean McVay is opening up the playbook. Davante Adams lined up wide to the right, one-on-one. Here is Stafford under pressure, throws it middle to a tight window. He's got Adams, who's still going past the 25, and he's in the 23. That is what the Rams needed out of this passing attack. Just a third completion for Stafford on this game as Devon Witherspoon fell down and Stafford fit it into a tight window on the slant. Onto the inside, it's a perfect throw on a perfect connection to Adams. On the slant, Witherspoon lost track as he fell down. These two teams are averaging right around 8 yards per play. Rams 8 flat, Seahawks 8.2. Single back on a bunch set. Motion left is Nacua. It's a run up the middle for Williams. Cuts right. Gets away from one man. No! Could not get away from Eman-Wari. I was looking at Ernest Jones, but it was Nick Eman-Wari that he could not get away from. And in Seattle, you have to get as low as you can go in the huddle-ups as you're the quarterback, knowing how loud this place is. So that's to get the message effectively and clear. This place is loud, and you're the opposition. Matthew Stafford steps up, throws middle, caught, and it's Adams. No, it's incomplete. The ball came out at the last moment. I thought that Adams had it, but it was broken up by Eman-Wari, who stopped Kyren Williams at the line of scrimmage. It was broken up through the middle. I thought this was caught, but Eman-Wari got a hand on it to jostle it free. His left arm was right on the inside of Adams to force that breakup. Rams staring at 3rd and 10. They have to convert this one. Stafford's just 3 of 8 for 70 yards. Motioning left is Canada Mumfield, the pit product. Stafford facing a 4-man rush, being chased, and he's eaten alive. Tank Lawrence. He gets home to force another field goal for the Rams. Maybe a face mask that they missed, but Lawrence, who forced 2 fumbles against the 49ers. Right? He gets home to Stafford for this one. I think that this was a missed face mask as he grabbed onto Stafford up high. You gotta have, but for that to be a face mask, you would have to have a twist. Mevis, right hash. This field goal is good. All the way from 50. 2 field goals from the thicker kicker, and it's 10-6. The Seahawks get away with a face mask. And the second field goal is good from Mevis. 10-6 when we return. in this Pacific Northwest, the Seahawks, comprising 1/3 of the sports, the four major North American professional sports leagues, and 1/4 of the major sports that participate. The others being the Seattle Mariners of Major League Baseball, the Seattle Kraken of the National Hockey League, and the Seattle Storm of the Women's National Basketball Association. Ethan Evans is going to kick off, and it's up. Rashid Shaheed is likely going to kneel this one in the end zone, and he will. They would rather have this one on the 35-yard line. They know the rules. Mike McDonald does know his guys. In Centennial High School, in Roswell, Georgia, he tore his ACL his senior year. In Cedar Shoals High School, he was the football coach while attending the University of Georgia at Cedar Shoals High School. He is a dedicated man. He was the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens before the conclusion of the 2023 season, and before accepting the job as head coach of the Seahawks. Here's a play fake as Darnold holds on to it. Ford's on him, throws middle right side, and it's JSN who falls past midfield. And that's 16 yards for JSN. Darius Williams all over him. It's a good route from Jackson Smith-Njigba right on Darius Williams, who was part of that Super Bowl winning team for the Rams. And it looked like a missed hole from Jalen Sundell to center right on Boona Ford. Not much though. Pistol set with two tight ends on this set. Kenneth Walker is the running back. Oh, it's a bad snap. Darnold has to fall on it. And it is a wasted down for the Seahawks. Bad snap from Sundell. Talking about offensive line struggles in the past for the Seahawks that were prevalent in the Russell Wilson era. This year, the Seahawks have been league average. It doesn't quite corral. This actually was a good snap from Sundell. Darnold could not hold on to it. That was on Darnold not getting the snap. Ball is now at the Seattle 42. It's a loss of 9 yards. A.J. Barner motioning to the right of Abe Lucas. 2 left and 2 right. Darnold against a 4-man rush. Well protected, running out of time, and he goes down again. Braden Fisk. One of 2 Florida State products on this front 7. People talk about Jared Verse, but don't count out Fisk. Right up against Anthony Bradford. The bull rush works out. Both he and Verse were right there on Darnold to pressure him through that right side. Verse came from the left, but Fisk did the majority of the work on the bull rush, spoiling the double team. 3rd and 27. Cooper Kupp motions to the right of Lucas. George Holani on the run. Not going to be much on this one. The Seahawks trusting their defense as they're looking to get the punt team out. As a good stop on defense for Fisk. Right on 3rd and 27. And Chris Shula's defense stepping up this time around. That was a gain of 3 for George Holani. And Seattle made that running play for the purpose of trusting their defense up against Stafford and company. They have limited the Rams to just 2 field goals in that first quarter and second quarter. Xavier Smith is the return man. Michael Dixon, the punter. Chris Stoll was the long snapper. One time Dixon had a play in which he punted twice, and it was legal. So he had the initial punt block, got it back, and then kicked off again. Smith muffs it, recovers it in time. He lost his balance, but then dives forward in front of the muff to make sure the Rams secure it at their own 13. Oh my goodness, that could have been disaster for the Rams, but he was able to recover it just in time to snatch it away from Derek Young. We'll be right back in a moment. on the AFC side of things, the Patriots 18.0 points per game in this postseason is the fewest by any team to make the Super Bowl since the 1979 Los Angeles Rams. Today's Rams are trying to make it to the Super Bowl for the third time in the Sean McVay era, and they need to have Matthew Stafford on his A game. Here's a run to the left side for Blake Corum, the Michigan product. He gets to the 20-yard line for a 7-yard run. Good start for that for this offense on this drive in the second quarter. The last two drives consist of 6 plays and 8 plays, both ending in field goals, 47 and 33 yards respectively, as the Rams are focusing on running the ball more. We want to get chunk plays out of these plays, and that's what the Rams are wanting to do. 2nd and 3, single back set. Bunch formation of Nakua motioning towards the right. Another run, this time inside Corum. Has the first down, and it's 4 yards. Just enough for the first down. Back-to-back running plays, and Blake Corum's getting involved on the ground. The Seahawks have not allowed a 100-yard rusher in 27 consecutive games. The Rams are making chunk plays here on the ground, making consistent 5+ yard runs. You want to have those types of runs to establish your rhythm and to set up the passing attack. First down at the 24 in Rams territory. And motioning left is Terrence Ferguson, the Oregon product. Yet another run. It is Corum inside on the cut. 5 yards. Exactly what I was talking about the chunk plays. You need to have more of those if you're Los Angeles. The Rams offense score 30.5 points per game, the most in the NFL. The Seahawks have allowed the least amount of points per game in the NFL. But the point differential are the two leaders this season. The regular season series, 58-57 this year. The Rams have outgained the Seahawks by just 1 total yard in the regular season series, 830-829. 2nd and 5 on a shotgun. Stafford, first pass of this drive. It's a short pass left, and rumbling ahead for the first down is Colby Parkinson. First target to the tight end today for the Rams. He is one of 4 active tight ends here. Terrence Ferguson, Parkinson, Davis Allen, and Tyler Higbee. They could use a mixture of any of these 4 tight ends, and they can go with 13 personnel sets, something that they have seen success with this year at the time that Adams was out. They're using more 11 personnel, 3 receivers on the field with Adams healthy. Play fake, Stafford throws middle towards the middle, and here's Nakua with a grab right over Kobe Bryant towards the 44-yard line. Yet another first down, and the Rams are in rhythm now. Trying to get Coleman Shelton to snap the ball as Nakua made a move towards the inside right on Josh Jobe and advances ahead towards the Seahawks 44. A big play. A big one for Nakua's made a habit out of big plays for LA. A little booty tap. Pause. Jordan Whittington motions right. Here is Blake Corum this time around. And for the first time, the Seahawks stuff the Rams on a run game. Outside run towards the right. And for here, I'm announcing my schedule for the next free cast. That next week will be the Hockey Valley game between Michigan State and Penn State men's hockey. You get a chance to see Gavin McKenna for the Penn State Nittany Lions. Then Super Bowl 60, and then the 68th Daytona 500. 2nd and 10 with 3 left and 1 right. Single back for the Rams. Deep drop back, and here is a big run for Corum left side. All sorts of room. Past the 30 and out of bounds at the 25. All sorts of open holes to run through as the 4-man rush was expecting pass. Instead, it was a draw. The defensive line was fooled out on the draw play, expecting pass, and so was Tariq Woolen, who thought that this was going to be a pass. Instead, it was Corum who opened the space up because of that draw play on the left. 5 of 10, 97 yards is Stafford. And the Rams are chilling in on the total yards. 158, 149 in favor of the Seahawks still. But the Rams are getting momentum. Middles this time. Corum gets 2. Leonard Williams there. The former New York Jet. In this first half, it's been a tale of 2 different quarters. The Seahawks lead 10-6. A 1-point difference in the total points score between the Patriots and Broncos. And one can wonder what would have happened if they called a safety for the Broncos on a missed holding call against the Bills last week. 2nd and 8. Stafford on a shotgun set, 3 receivers right, 1 left. It's 6 rushes, just the third pass at this drive. Pass left side to Nakua. He stepped out of bounds. 2 or 1 yard shy of the first down. We'll have to see where they spot the ball. Either way, it's going to be 3rd and extremely short. They'll say 3rd and 1. Going to have to disguise something up. It's 3rd and 1. All signs point to a run play here. If Quint Kubiak and Jason utilizing most of it. The opposite side for the Rams is Michael LaFleur, the offensive coordinator for the Rams, dialing up this play. It is a single back set, so all signs point to a run. The Rams have yet to convert on 3rd down. It's their 4th try. Williams up the middle, and there's the first 3rd down conversion for the Rams. 5 yards on the run. 1st down at the 11. The run game has been the story here. That's one aspect in which Seattle's defense has been struggling to go up against here. And the run defense has not been up to par for them in this drive. The Rams have been chewing up yardage on the ground. Motioning right, and it's Puka Nacua. And then motioning right as well as Xavier Smith towards the slot to the left. Single back set. Timeout called. The Rams are calling timeout with 2 seconds left on the play clock. I don't think Stafford liked what he saw. So going over that Patriots-Broncos game. Just to know here. Drake May, 10-21, 86 yards. Passer rating of just 58.8. It's been the ground game that's been the story. Ramondre Stevenson, 25 carries, 71 yards. May, 10 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Stevenson's redemption has been a story for the Patriots. He's been getting the rock a lot more. With Travion Henderson being inconsistent this postseason, despite being the starting running back down the stretch in the regular season. Mike Vrabel and the coaching staff's faith in Stevenson has been rewarded. He has fumbled less and has been better at securing the ball. Back for the timeout. Byron Murphy II is back on the field. Bunch set, single back. The Rams are 6 of 8 on red zone touchdowns this postseason. 3 tight ends here, and here's Corum. He advances up to the 8-yard line. LA can still get a first down here. They will want to have the touchdown here. Set the 2-minute warning. We'll see if they can get a touchdown here. Stafford 6 of 11 for 104 yards. He has been precise in his throws, recovering from a slow start. Kyron Williams on the sideline. It's actually a 1-yard run. Pistol set for the Rams. 2 tight ends here. Davis Allen and Colby Parkinson. Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams are split out wide. Nacua motions towards the right. Rams are not intent on running a play here. They are taking this to the 2-minute warning. They'll take it down to the 2-minute warning. And there we go. No movement here from either side. It's 10-6 Seahawks. And Quay Martin said that the clock is ran down to 2 minutes. No false start, no neutral zone infraction. We'll be right back in a moment. Not a lot of completions for Matthew Stafford, but he has thrown for 104 yards, a passer rating of 86.9. He has thrown for 48 touchdowns this year, league leader. Davante Adams is also a league leader in touchdown receptions with 14. Second and 8. You may do not want to get a one-on-one look. You want to find wide open space if you're Stafford and the Rams. Shotgun set, trips left, one right. Parkinson motions. Matthew Stafford looks, throws left side wide open for the touchdown. It's Kyren Williams. What a drive! Take it 87 yards for pay dirt, and it's capped off a 10-yard throw from Matthew Stafford to a wide open Kyren Williams. All sorts of open room, nobody there. But the Seahawks getting caught on zone defense, and Stafford dissected it. The crowd, normally deafening, got quiet there. The extra point is good all the way. Seattle can still tie with a field goal before the half ends. How about that drive? 87 yards all the way. And the Rams take their first lead of this game. 12 points, 87 yards. We'll be right back. Don Orsillo, the former play-by-play announcer of the Boston Red Sox and current announcer of the San Diego Padres, just tweeted, "We are back, and back big, with a Patriots jersey right after New England won the AFC Championship over the Broncos. One could have wondered how it would have went differently if there was a healthy Bo Nix." And that could attest back to the missed holding call in the end zone for what could have, should have resulted in a safety for Denver. Seattle getting set. They could still tie this up, but with 3 timeouts, they can also go ahead with a touchdown. They will receive the second half kick. Rob Gronkowski must be happy. And Tom Brady must be happy too, seeing the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. Trips left, one right. A.J. Barner is the tight end. Motioning left is Kenneth Walker. He is the running back. And then right on the motion, it is Jake Bobo. Run right side to Walker. He's been electric in this game. Runs behind Lucas. Ran it out of bounds. Forced out by Turner. That takes 8 seconds off the clock. That takes 6 seconds off the clock. And it stops with 1:49. And Seattle wanting to get momentum. You remember the final 2 minutes of the first half. The clock stops when the ball carrier runs out of bounds. In the second half, that extends to the final 5 minutes. It's 1.5 yards on this run. That run, actually. JSN motions right. He's in the slot. Shotgun set for the Seahawks. Darnold will look. Steps up. Throws middle. Tipped off the hands of Kupp with Durant in coverage. These two were part of a major turning point in the previous Rams-Seahawks game. Cooper Kupp looked like he was going to run it in for a touchdown, but the ball was forced free by the Rams. It's recovered by Kobe Durant for a touchback. Kupp actually dropped that one as it went off his hands. Durant in coverage. He didn't break that up. Empty set for Seattle. He's 2 of 3 on third down, 60 yards, 2 first downs on both occasions. George Holani in motion. Rams show blitz, they fake it. Darnold right side. Another drop. Holani this time. Holani fills in for the injured Zach Charbonnet. Lost for the year to a torn ACL. And you can assure that Seattle misses Charbonnet badly as it was off the inside of his elbow. He was turning his head around. He was thinking run after the catch. He was thinking run, not catch. Instead, it's a punt for Dixon. It is up. Oh, almost got blocked. Penalty flag as well. It'll be a fair catch at the 22. We'll have to check the flag and the announcement from Clay Martin. The Rams went for the punt rush. We'll have to see what this is. Josiah Stewart may be at the forefront of this. Actually holding on Seattle. Is there another flag in the area? The penalties on both sides. The Rams are going to add 10 yards to the dead ball spot. All of a sudden, they have the momentum right afterwards. It was a clear hold by the long snapper Chris Stoll on Josiah Stewart, number 10, in white. They're up 13-10 with 1:33 to go in the half. I'm Alec Nava. We'll be right back. reading off the Twitch chat. As you see, hello there, big slimy grape. As we get going here. To return back for the end of the first half. The Rams have 2 timeouts. Seahawks have 3. This is 3 right and 1 left on the formation. Higbee motions to the left of Alaric Jackson. Inside handoff, Kyron Williams gets some space. And 5 yards. The stop from Byron Murphy. We'll see if the Rams are going to go hurry up. And it looks like they're going to go hurry up after that initial run from Williams. They are content with that ground game. See if Stafford's going to sling the ball here on second down, and he will. Matthew Stafford towards the right side. Broken up by Emanwari. Pass intended for Nakua. Emanwari got a hand onto it. It's a little behind there. And it'll be 3rd down for the Rams. It's a very tight window for Stafford to throw to. He is comfortable throwing into tight windows. But good coverage from Emanwari. 1 of 2 finalists for Defensive Rookie of the Year alongside Carson Schwesinger of the Browns. Rams come out the huddle. Ronnie Rivers is in the game as the 3rd running back. 2 receivers left and 2 more to the right. Nakua in motion. Seahawks blitz here. Stafford heaves it down the left side for Nakua. Broken up. And that's Tariq Woolen. A timeout, however, was called. The Rams get their 2nd timeout just in time. They could breathe a sigh of relief. But the Seahawks had to be shaking their head with the Rams calling timeout, knowing that Woolen had made a big pass breakup that was nullified because of that timeout. That's got to sting. And these 2 divisional rivals know each other well. One of the most famous moments in this rivalry being this year. And to look back at the fake punt, at the fake out, in a trick play, Tavon Austin was positioned as the punt returner for the Rams. It was Stedman Bailey who faked everyone out on the Seahawks. Stafford with time to throw, right side, caught, no, broken up. Emanwari again. Forced the ball out of the hands of the receiver. And that forced a big punting situation. And Rashid Shaheed, the dangerous return man, can take it for a long return. Emanwari with a crucial pass breakup on Ronnie Rivers, the 3rd running back. Ethan Evans to punt. He had a punt blocked earlier in the postseason against the Carolina Panthers. That set up a go-ahead touchdown on Jalen Coker. Punt us off. Shaheed back deep. It'll be a fair catch. Very auspicious. He falls for it at 26. 54 seconds left in this first half. The Seahawks trying to get to field goal range. When we come back in a moment. LA has 4 Pro Bowlers: Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford, Jared Verse, and Byron Young. Seattle has 6: Sam Darnold, DeMarcus Lawrence, Rashid Shaheed, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Leonard Williams, and Devon Witherspoon. The Flag Football Showdown is February 3rd. I will not be broadcasting that, as instead, on that weekend, I'll be broadcasting Michigan State versus Penn State, the Hockey Valley game at Beaver Stadium. That's taken outdoors. In the first 2 drives, the Seahawks offense had 137 yards and 10 points. The last 2 drives, just 4 plays and no points on 7 plays. Seattle trying to find some rhythm against this Los Angeles defense, which has been sneakily good. Darnold gets it off in a hurry, right side, caught. And it's Jason who takes it out of bounds on the tight window one-on-one against Darius Williams. 10 yards and 10 yards exact first down. The ever so shifty receiver, he wrestled it away from Williams' grasp. As he got in front, Williams tried to break it up but could not. JSN secured it right onto his pocket. Shotgun set, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Darnold will look. Throws a left side intermediate. High. Almost intercepted too. Quentin Lake into coverage on the former Ram and Washington State man, Cooper Kupp. And I mean Washington State is in the contiguous United States, not the school. Lake gets placed. Jalen McCullough was also in the vicinity to try to intercept that. It was too low for him, however. Lake in the zone coverage, responsible for defending his man, Kupp, and he did so there. Clock stopped at 44 seconds. Seattle has all 3 timeouts. Motion left is Kupp. Trailing him is Lake. Darnold steps up away from the pressure. Heaves it down the left side. Wide open! And a big hit afterwards. Jansen hung on to it. And lets Cam Curl know. Timeout Seattle. The route that Jansen ran to Vince all the way to the 21 in Rams territory. And the Seahawks are in business. He laid the ball up in the air, Darnold did. And Jansen absorbed a big hit from Curl. In the end, hung on to that ball. Did not come free, and he survived it all. A bullet going to the post route en route. It is one thing that Sam Darnold has done a great job at accounting for. 6 catches, 102 yards for JSN out of wide receiver U, Ohio State University. They'll mark it to 22. Shotgun set, trips left, 1 right, the tight end is Barner. Smith-Njigba motions all the way to the right. This is zone coverage. Darnold up against the 4-man rush. Well protected. Dumps out for Holani. Holani cuts back. Advances further. First and goal. 13 yards. And the Seahawks use their second timeout. And there's the feeling that Seattle's intent on taking the lead here with 30 seconds left in the second quarter. They're going to talk things over between them and Quint Kubiak. And what a stage it is between these 2 teams. Winner faces the Patriots under technically first-year head coach Mike Vrabel. It's either going to be Mike versus Mike or Mike versus Sean again, right after Vrabel beat Sean Payton's Denver Broncos. And Darnold has been very decisive and methodical with his throws and knows where to place them. And this year he's been erasing all the can't perform under the bright lights narratives. Kupp is lined up wide to the left. Holani motions all the way to the right and then back to the right of Darnold. Shotgun set. Flags fly in and there's a false start. That is the center, Jalen Sundell, called for the false start. And because the clock was not rolling, it is not a 10-second runoff. So they'll move it back. It's a little flinch from Sundell. He's trying to anticipate the run. You can't move your head up on the snap. Fractions of seconds as Rashid Shaheed motions left. Quentin Lake trails him. Man coverage from what we can anticipate here. Sam Darnold looking towards the end zone. And it's too high for JSN. He caught it, but he was out of bounds. Well, he was well behind the back of the end zone. It was 3 yards out of bounds. One-handed, two-handed. That's an acrobatic leap. He caught that one gracefully. Catching that one out the back of the end zone. And he does manage to win contested catches here throughout. But that time he was wide open, but no space for him to maneuver. He motions left. 3 receivers left, 1 right with Holani the running back. Darnold, well protected. Throwing end zone again. Wide open is JSN. This time it's a tutty. Seattle back up front. A lot of time here for Darnold to throw with good pass protection. And right in the nick of time before Verse got to him to beat out Charles Cross, Darnold finds Jackson Smith-Njigba right at the left side, wide open space on a lob. The Seahawks are an extra point away from going up by 4. Jason Myers on the left hash for the extra point. And this kick is good. Smith-Njigba has been taking over this first half. He is over 100 receiving yards. He gets 14 yards on this catch. And Darnold threw to him the whole way. He was looking at him because he knows that's his guy. 7 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown for JSN, the Ohio State product from Nacogdoches, Texas. 3rd-year man out there, and he's going to get paid a handsome sum of money. He led the league in receiving yards, and he's been very, very good on one-on-one matches, contested matches, you name it. He's been money in the bank. 6 plays, 74 yards. They took it the distance. The 3rd game for JSN this year with at least 100 yards and a half. Myers to send this one off. It is up. This will be returned by the Rams. Main purpose to run out some more clock. This is Ronnie Rivers. Past the 25 down at the 28, I believe. And with 15 seconds left, the anticipation is the Rams run out the rest of the clock, kneel it out. The Rams don't have time to get into field goal range unless they want to play Madden on rookie mode, which is not going to be the case because the Seahawks are one of the best teams in the entire NFL. Jaron Reed in the game. It's going to be a shotgun set with 3 receivers left, 1 right. Matthew Stafford, 4-man rush. Was 1 timeout. Dump off for Tyler Higbee. Advances past the 40. Tries to spin his man out. 8 seconds left. And a timeout called by LA. Maybe a Hail Mary. And with that field goal, the longest field goal that Harrison Mevis has ever kicked in his career has been from 52 yards. It's a lot to ask for a first-year kicker from him to kick from 60 plus. But with this sort of time here, you might not have any other choice. You want to get over to, say, at least a 40-yard line to even have a chance. You do it from inside 60. You can probably go to Seattle's 45-yard line and work the sidelines there. It is 112 decibels here at Lumen Field. Crowd is deafening. And Seattle is taking their final timeout with 8 seconds left and a half. They are as loud as the 12th man can ever be. And oh my goodness, you think of how it can compare to others. We have to take a note at some of the loudest sounds ever. So the loudest sounds ever measured the Krakatoa eruption on August 27th, 1883, recorded at 300 decibels. Stafford 8 of 15, 125 yards, and a touchdown pass to Kyren Williams. Shotgun set trips right, 1 left. Rams have to go quickly here. With 4 seconds, Stafford, he's taking a lot of time here. He's not going to have time to get something off. He'll slide to end the half. He was down by contact. The official had blown the whistle. Nicky Manwari thinks it's a live ball. And he's going to take it back to the end zone. And he was clearly down by contact. He gave himself up. It's a 17-13 lead from the Seahawks. And we're going to have the halftime report coming up next here in just a moment. I am Alec Nava. Stay tuned, everyone. The Seahawks, who scored on 3 of 5 drives, want to get their momentum. The Rams had a 12-play, 87-yard touchdown drive to lead the way. Seattle leads 17-13 after 30 minutes. I am Alec Nava. Stay tuned. At the half, it is 17-13 Seattle. I'm Alec Nava. Welcome to the halftime report. Sam Darnold is 12 of 18 for 209 yards and a touchdown, a passer rating of 124.5, shaking off the playoff ghosts. And he is seeing ghosts no more. Kenneth Walker, 9 carries, 37 yards, and 1 touchdown. JSN with 7 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. Shisha Heed's lone catch went for 51 yards. The longest catch for JSN, 42 yards. His touchdown catch went for 14 yards. Darnold may have fumbled once, but he recovered it. A.J. Barner had a fumble, but the ball went out of bounds just in time. No interceptions to speak of between either quarterback. Matthew Stafford, 8 of 15 for 125 yards and 1 touchdown, passer rating of 103.5. Blake Corum and Kyren Williams have 7 carries each. Corum has 40 yards on the ground. Williams, 31 on the ground. Puka Nacua, 4 catches for 75 yards. Devontae Adams' lone catch went for 23. The only touchdown catch by Williams. 9 yards. The fumbles, Matthew Stafford once, Xavier Smith once, that was on a muff. Kevin Dotson recovered the fumble from Stafford. Smith recovered his own fumble. In terms of team stats, total yards 239 to 204 Seattle. As it is, the third down efficiency is 1 of 5 for the Rams, 3 of 6 for the Seahawks. And on penalties, the Seahawks have been penalized 3 times, the Rams none. No turnovers to speak of by either team. The time of possession has been basically balanced. 15-14 for the Rams, 14-46 for Seattle. So as we go on through, the headline says, Arthur Smith hired as the Ohio State offensive coordinator. The strange coaching interview being Philip Rivers being considered for the Bills' head coaching job. He has never coached at the collegiate or professional level. The equivalent to this being Jeff Saturday being hired as the Indianapolis Colts head coach. Philip Rivers retired after 1 year with the Colts in 2020, rejoined the team when Daniel Jones tore his right Achilles and Riley Leonard sprained his PCL. Rivers started 3 games. The Colts went 0-3. Josh Allen's been in at the team's coaching interviews thus far. The expectation is that this continued. Only one person since 1950 has played the NFL one season and then served as the head coach the next. That was Norm Van Brocklin, who finished his 12-season playing career in 1960 with the Philadelphia Eagles, then became the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings for their debut year in 1961 when they went 3-11. Rivers played 18 NFL seasons, 60 of them with the Chargers. His final playoff game came in 2020 against the Bills. Rivers is the head coach of his high school in Alabama, said Michael Catholic. The Bills are conducting what Brandon Beane said will be a wide open search, as he is also interviewing Mike McDaniel, but McDaniel withdrew his name from the head coaching talks. Buffalo's also interviewed offensive coordinator Joe Brady, former Bills offensive coordinator and Giants coach Brian Daboll, and Colts defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. Interviews are scheduled with former Bills assistant coach Anthony Lynn, former Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver, and Jaguars offensive coordinator Grant Udinsky for the Bills head coaching job. And Donovan Gannon has agreed to be the Packers defensive coordinator. There is news with the Giants on who their new defensive coordinator is, Denard Wilson, as John Harbaugh's DC. They're also expected to hire former Ravens special teams coordinator Chris Horton for the same role on Harbaugh's staff. Wilson spent the last 2 years as defensive coordinator for the Titans, has a connection to Harbaugh, serving him as the Ravens defensive backs coach in 2023. 3 defensive assistants on the Ravens became coaches elsewhere. Mike McDonald, defensive coordinator, became the Seahawks head coach. Anthony Weaver became the Dolphins defensive coordinator, and Denard Wilson became the Titans defensive coordinator after being the secondary head coach. Broncos assistant head coach and defensive pass game coordinator Jim Leonhard and former Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver were also named as serious interest for the Giants defensive coordinator position. Wilson and Horton are the first coordinators hired by Harbaugh, who took the job last week after 18 seasons in Baltimore. The Giants have interest in Todd Monken as the offensive coordinator, but he's still in the running for the Browns head coaching job. Harbaugh and New York were originally denied a request to interview Horton, but they were intent on waiting it out. They were in the midst of hiring a head coach and chose Jesse Minter, the Chargers defensive coordinator. As for Gannon, he replaces Jeff Hafley, who became the Dolphins head coach after 2 years running the Packers defense. In Green Bay, Gannon takes over a defense that includes Micah Parsons and Xavier McKinney. He becomes the 4th defensive coordinator in Matt LaFleur's 8 seasons in Green Bay. Hafley's successful 2-year stint followed 2 coordinators who were let go, Mike Pettine and Joe Barry. Gannon was fired as the Cardinals head coach after 3-14 record and with 15-36 in 3 years as their head coach. A source also said Gannon was drawing interest from both Jim Harbaugh and John Harbaugh for their respective defensive coordinator openings with the Chargers and Giants. If the Packers waited any longer, they might have lost out. However, hiring Gannon now prevents the Packers from interviewing Broncos assistant head coach / defensive pass game coordinator Jim Leonhard for the job. There was mutual interest between LaFleur and Leonhard, but the Wisconsin native and former Badgers player and coach, the Packers could not interview him because the Broncos were playing in Sunday's AFC Championship game. The only time during which the Packers could have interviewed Leonhard previously was during the opening week of the playoffs, when the top seeded Broncos had to bye. That's when the Cowboys interviewed him for the defensive coordinator position, but at the time, halfway have not yet left the Packers. Before hiring Gannon, among the known candidates LaFleur interviewed were Christian Parker, who was named the Cowboys defensive coordinator, Bears pass game coordinator Al Harris, a former Packers corner, and Vikings pass game coordinator Daronte Jones. A source also said that LaFleur also interviewed each one of his defensive assistant coaches. Gannon spent 2 years as the Eagles defensive coordinator, where they finished in the top 10 in total defense in each of those seasons, ranking second in 2022, when they led the NFL in fewest passing yards allowed and sacks, while also ranking tied for fourth in interceptions. Like Halfway, Gannon's previous experience was coaching defensive backs. Another source said LaFleur was still working for an additional change to his coaching staff, and he signed a multi-year contract extension more than a week ago. As of that moment. Coming up next is the second half of the NFC Championship Game. I am Alec Nava. Stay tuned for that. Welcome back to Lumen Field. The Seahawks lead 17-13. And these two teams, the best teams in the NFL, as you could say, The Seahawks 14-3, the Rams 12-5. And that first half has been back and forth, and we can expect a very thrilling second half here. And when you're thinking about outscoring your opponent, both teams have been on that mindset. LA wanting to stop Seattle to open off this second half. Passing yards 201 for the Seahawks, 116 for the Rams. 7.7 yards per play for Seattle, 6.4 for LA. The rushing yards, 88-38 in favor of the Rams. Rashid Shaheed is back deep at the end zone, ready to receive the kickoff from Ethan Evans. The officials blow the whistle, and Evans kicks it off. We're underway here for the second half. This rolls, and Shaheed bobbled it, has to pick it up at the end zone, and the ball will be taken out to the 20. My goodness. That was very auspicious there from Shaheed. And here, the Seahawks and Rams matching up with one another for the third time this season. The last time we see these two teams matching up for the third time was, well, last year. Eagles and Commanders. Between division rivals. And you have to find a way to... And that's in a conference championship game. Nonetheless. And here in the red zone, they're looking to capitalize. The Seahawks are in the opposite red zone. They're in the zone that they're starting from. Kenneth Walker, 2-24 for 4 yards. That is on the inside run right side. It's been a good job by the offense to get a go-ahead score before the end of the first half. The Seahawks know they have a rematch on the line against the Patriots should they win this. The Rams also notice they have a rematch of their own should they win this. And they want to capitalize and avenge the earlier defeats. Sam Darnold getting A.J. Barton in motion to the right of Abe Lucas. Shotgun set, 3 right and 1 left. Now Walker motions left to make it an empty set. Darnold to throw against a 4-man rush. Throws right side wide open is Smith-Njigba. A first down. And already he is establishing his momentum. 8 catches on the night. And he gets this 13 yards right around Nate Landman, right around the zone defense. And Darnold dissecting it all throughout. And he's thinking, in what way can I get Jason the ball? He is guiding Jason towards the left. Of course, Smith-Njigba is a big play weapon when targeted. Eric Saubert, the second tight end, is on the field. Excuse me. Eric Saubert, the second tight end, is on the field here. Barner motions left 2. Fake the toss left side. Darnold rolls out right side. Being chased by Verse. He throws it away. Jared Verse is a game wrecker, and he recognized the pressure. And this was a fake toss left side. That oblique injury was a concern for Darnold, but he didn't look any phase in this game. He's dealt with all the injuries throughout. 8 pressures and 1 sack on 21 dropbacks when under pressure is Darnold. 3 receivers left and 1 right. Shotgun set. Darnold hands it off on a shotgun to Walker, trying to find any sort of space to go, and he is wrapped up. Loss of 1 from Josiah Stewart, flag out. And the fans upset. It looks like it's going to be against Seattle. This will be the 4th penalty on the Seahawks. The Rams will take the loss of yardage. The penalties declined. The holding penalty on the first round pick, Gray Zabel. It's hard for a defense to know where the star receiver would line up. He will line up in a slot or on the outside left, outside right. They can line up any which way. Here's JSN is going to line up wide to the right, or rather he's going to motion towards the left with Quentin Lake trailing him on man coverage. 3rd and 12 for the Seahawks. Rams send the blitz after Darnold. He's under pressure trying to get away and cannot! The Rams get to Darnold on 3rd and 12 and force Michael Dixon to punt again. Chris Shula's defense does the job. Interior pressure is the weakness of Sam Darnold, and that time it was. He was tripped up, I believe, by Braden Fisk. Everybody was lined up on the drop back as he fell down and got touched up with two hands by Verse. Dixon to punt. The return man is Xavier Smith. Weapon X. The punt is up. Smith goes towards the left side. Calls for a fair catch. Backs up. Falls. Oh, he muffed it! And it's recovered by Seattle! He lost his balance and muffed it! Derek Young recovers for the Seahawks. Special teams have haunted the Rams all year long. He called for the fair catch and lost his footing, could not get a clear fielding of it, and is recovered by Young to set up the Seahawks in the red zone. Great hustle down the field, and we talk of excellent and gunners like Brendan Schooler, Devon Key of the Patriots and Broncos respectively, and Mike McDonald is thrilled for this. Rashid Shaheed, the punt returner, is deadly. And Young, a fourth-year man, excellent as a gunner for Seattle. Two tight ends set here for the Seahawks in single back. Cooper Kupp motions towards the right. It's a play fake. Darnold well protected. Now the pressure against him. In the end zone. Touchdown! Jake Bobo! On the first play of the month, Seattle goes up by 2 scores. The 12s have been in this from the start, and Bobo gets wide open for the middle. There's small separation against Kobe Durant, who was responsible for covering his man Cole Kmet on the Caleb Williams touchdown throw to tie the game last week. And Derek Young, who recovered that, set that one up. The extra point is good. And the Seahawks faithful loves it. Xavier Smith muffs it, loses his balance. Young jumps on it to recover it. And Bobo ends it in the end zone. We'll be right back. A critical mistake by the Rams on the punt return. If Xavier Smith muffing his second punt, and special teams miscues have haunted this team over and over again. The Seahawks looking for their second Super Bowl in franchise history. Kickoff fielding at the free. Over towards the left side, it is Whittington. Shakes off one tackle. Reinforcements come at the 25. The touchdown as Bobo wide open. Over towards the middle, and the Rams focus with many defenders going towards the right, towards Jackson Smith-Njigba. It is Bobo, not Cooper Kupp as I originally thought. His entire blue part right there on the right side. So as to prevent Darnold from throwing to JSN. 24-13 is the Seahawks lead. And Bobo, a loyal member of Seattle, it's been it through all the time. Stafford on the play fake. He's going to throw deep right side. It is Parkinson right over Job. And he takes it out of bounds in Seattle territory on the first play. Right after the drive. Right after the muff from Xavier Smith. Matthew Stafford capitalizing. Right past Josh Job. And Parkinson got all that separation on the right side. Job could not keep up. Unfortunately, Job is smaller, but he is quicker. And a little scuffle between Leonard Williams and Davis Allen after the matter of fact. Terrence Ferguson was there to break it up. That's the ball at the 35. Up the middle, it is Corum for a 3-yard run up the middle. Colby Parkinson, who has emerged into the Rams' starting tight end. Originally a member of the Seahawks, came over towards the Rams, but nobody expected him to land a starting role. He was originally a backup tight end, but he's been outstanding wherever he goes. He's been known as a blocker more often than not, but now he's more known as a receiver these days. 43 catches, 408 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Shotgun set, 2 receivers left. Stafford, deep drop back, looks right side, and it's Adams! Could not get for the touchdown! Job stopped him at the free! What a throw from Matthew Stafford! Has set up the Rams for first and goal! Davante with a twitch right on Josh Job. That's twice now that Stafford has targeted Job's way. The first time to Parkinson and this time to Adams. And Davante, the former Green Bay Packer and longtime teammate of Aaron Rodgers, has built this rapport with Rodgers' former division rival, Matthew Stafford. And they've been on key. Adams has been a stellar red zone target. Are they going to throw to him here on the pistol set? Stafford to throw it. He's to the left side for Adams. Touchdown! Davante Adams! You bet! What a quick response from the Los Angeles Rams. A wiggle move at the left side, and Adams found all that space on the outside of the left. And that's what you need from a star receiver like him on an outside throw. Decisions. Are the Rams going to go for 2? No, they're going to kick the extra point. Harrison Meave is to kick it. It's a straightaway kick down the middle. 9:41, third quarter. And the kick is good. The Rams are unfazed by that muff from Xavier Smith. They respond of a quick drive, and Stafford finds Mr. Reliable in the red zone, Davante Adams. Seahawks lead 24-20, and we'll be right back. Davante Adams led this drive with a big catch. And the Rams watch party has been strong as ever in California. 4 plays. And they needed 75 yards. They got that in 2 minutes and 21 seconds. 29 yards to Adams. 40 yards to Parkinson. The ball was out. Parkinson actually fumbled the ball, but ended up out of bounds. This will be kneeled at the end zone by Shaheed. The Seahawks will start from the 35. See how they answer back here. Blake Corum got 4 yards in between the Parkinson and Adams big catches. Before Adams got the touchdown from 2 yards out. Mr. Reliable. 14 touchdowns in the regular season. Nobody on the Rams receiving core had a touchdown last week against Chicago. But Kyren Williams made up for that with 2 rushing touchdowns of his own. Single back set. Holani the running back. They did elevate Cam Akers from the practice squad beforehand alongside Velus Jones Jr. Holani up the middle and then cuts to the right. He is met by Byron Young. A short pickup for the Seahawks. They're comfortable running it with Holani as the backup running back to Walker, taking over for the injured Zach Charbonnet. And even though Sam Darnold has been hot or cold, here he's been hot. 14 of 21 for 230 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Motioning right is Eric Sauber. Again, it's a single back set. Walker is the single back. An audible here to left to right. Now motioning right is A.J. Barner. It's a run to the right side for Walker this time around. He can't get any open space. Back to the original line of scrimmage they go. Deshaun Johnson. Loss of 2.5 yards. And the Rams are using more physicality with this defense on run plays. They're amping up the pressure. They get Walker off the field. Walker is back onto the huddle. JSN. And you will usually see the reliable weapons in Smith-Njigba, Shaheed, Kupp. They're all lined up at the left side trips. Darnold, deep drop back. He's going to throw left side. And a low pass caught by Kupp. Wide open. And he takes this for 12 yards. The Coop chance. Here in Seattle, the former Super Bowl MVP with the Rams makes his statement. It's a left side flat route that Kupp ran and he faked out his man. Faked the in route on Jalen McCullough, and the miscommunication is what allowed Kupp to break free. He subs out. Fresh new blood here. Rashid Shaheed lined up wide to the left. Now he motions towards the right. Is this going to be a run play for him? No, it's going to be a handoff for Kenneth Walker. He gains his space and a big hole, trying to get some extra footing. He gets a first down out of it. What a run it is for Walker, making up for the loss of 2. They extended the drive on 3rd down. And on these 1st and 2nd down plays, you have to win on the early downs, and that's what the Seahawks did. You get the gap up the middle set up by Bradford and Charles Cross. And the offensive linemen are some of the most underrated pieces you can have on a football team. Cross, who signed an extension, has been so valuable to the Seahawks. Ball at the Rams 41. That's the 16th first down the Seahawks have had. Empty set Darnold. He's going to step up and throw towards the middle. Caught. 8 yards. That's Holani. They're going to say 9 yards on that. Omar Spates the tackle. And it's on a check down route to the backup running back. Doesn't need to show the flash. Just have to do what he does best between Holani and Darnold. 16-23, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns so far for Sammy D. In the 2nd and 1, all throughout. And he's very surgical here with the way that he operates his ball. Pistol set with Smith-Njigba motioning left. Quick throw left side to screen. He gets a block. Jason is down at the red zone. And you know, whenever he gets an opportunity, they're going to throw it to him. That went for 12 yards off the block from Cooper Kupp, who shut off Roger McCreary. Cameron Curl couldn't get the legs wrapped on as JSN with the shift move once and then twice. Omar Speights with the stop. 9 catches, 139 yards for JSN. Rest of the downs is a weak side ice set. AJ Barner motions right and then back left for the strong ice set. It's a play fake. Darnold rolls out left side, chased by Burst. Dumps off for Barner, and he's trying to get some extensions being wrapped up by Speights. 7 yards out of it. AJ Barner, who got the game-tying touchdown in Week 16 in the regular season meetings, the second of which, a valuable piece to this Seahawks puzzle, the starting tight end after an injury to Elijah Arroyo. It was a healthy scratch on the coach's decision. Mike McDowell doesn't think that he's ready to come back into action. Quick throw left side, and it's dropped. A little too far for Jake Bobo to catch that. A tough play for him. He has just 4 catches on the year. And an unlikely hero for the Seahawks should they hold on to this one. Bobo, who has been long tenured with this team. This is his third year with them out of UCLA, the 27-year-old. 3rd and 3, clock stopped at 4:57, third quarter. Shotgun set with Kupp motioning all the way to the right, trips right, 1 left. Nickel set for the Rams. Kenneth Walker in motion, coming back towards the left of Darnold. He's going to throw. Sam Darnold looks right side. He finds his man, Kupp! Touchdown! Cooper Kupp against his former team for his hometown team. How do you like them apples? That is zone coverage that the Rams operate with, and Cooper Kupp knows his team so well. Darnold looks left at first, sees that option was taken away, then comes back towards the right and finds Kupp wide open as he gains space. Extra point for Myers is at the left hash. Perfect accuracy. It is up, and it is good. 31-20. And the third touchdown pass from Sam Darnold is to Cooper Kupp, the former Ram, and the Seahawks on top with 4:52 left in the third. We'll be right back. As we are getting back into action here, the Seahawks in front 31-20. The last NFC Championship game involving the Seahawks was a thriller. They came back from a 16-point deficit to beat the Green Bay Packers 28-22 in overtime. A recovered onside kick helped out. A touchdown run from Marshawn Lynch and a thrilling 2-point conversion to Luke Wilson from Russell Wilson. Returned by the Rams 2-25. And for progress stopped. Flags come in. And the Rams, no injuries to speak of, but Jordan Whittington got roughed up on that return. Here, we'll see what Clay Martin has to call. There's some more additional discussions. Here it is. That's an illegal block on the back against Omar Speights. 1 of the 2 starting linebackers for the Rams. The Seahawks use the most man coverage in the league ever since Mike McDonald took over as head coach. It's frustrating if you're a Rams fan watching that penalty unfold. Assistant head coach Leslie Frazier has helped out for experience for McDonald. Aden Durde as the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks. The first penalty for the Rams all game. Stafford airs it out left side, and wide open is Adams! Out of bounds at the Rams 48. What penalty? The Rams make up for it and then some. The drive start at the 13. This goes for 35 yards. That's a high-level play that Stafford can make with his throwing arm. 12 of 19, 221 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Stafford, right side, quick throw, Parkinson midfield. Just 2 yards, he gets blown up by Eman Mori, flag out. Now you go inside leverage, you can lose your man easily as he did with Devon Witherspoon. He slipped up that time. This illegal contact on Tariq Woolen. Got a penalty there, and that was illegal contact on Puka Nacua. He did make contact beyond the 5 yards of pass the line scrimmage. Sometimes when you are defending, you have to keep your hands up with 5 yards once you're beyond the 5-yard threshold. And Davante Adams is unique in many ways. Motioning right is Davis Allen, lined up as a wide receiver, wide to the right. Shotgun handoff to Kyren Williams, gets tripped up. 3 yards, or rather 5 yards actually, on that run. Byron Murphy to second, wrapped him up. Colby Turner, star defensive tackle for the Rams, also known as the conductor for his ability to play the piano. He is questionable to return. He went into the Rams locker room, and Jordan Whittington has joined him there. So both of them are questionable to return. Single back set again. 3 receivers right. Stafford on the play fake. Flag down. Pump fakes. Dumps off left side for Williams. Shakes off 1 tackle. And not letting go was Witherspoon. We have to check the penalty. The flags are starting to pick up here for LA. Alaric Jackson, the left tackle, getting called for. Hands to the face. That is the left tackle. Got to the line very quickly, and that is a correct call that Clay Martin and company made. Tried to rush the passer with Derek Hall. I had to get one-on-one with Jackson, and he got his hands up on him. And when you use tempo, it can work out, and you get the flow through. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Single back second again for the Rams. They're backed up onto their own 47.5. Williams on the handoff up the middle. Several Seahawks come crashing up to him to limit him to a gain of 4. Thought they were trying to get some momentum up. Now it's 3rd and 12. I'm going to say 3 yards for Williams. Drake Thomas, the NC State linebacker. The Rams have not been good on 3rd down. They're 1 of 5 in this situations. It's a difficult task here given that they're up against the dark side. But it's not impossible. 5-man rush. Stafford gets away. Ayers is on right side and almost intercepted. Close call as Tariq Woolen almost had that. He read the route and jumped in front of Puka Nacua. Stafford forced a tight window throw, and that should have easily been an interception. Instead, it's a punt. Most defensive backs are wide receivers that couldn't stick as wide receivers. And that time, Woolen, there was a penalty flag way after the play. All right, so we're assuming this play is over, so we're going to see what happened here. Might be unsportsmanlike conduct. Oh my goodness. It's taunting against Tariq Woolen that keeps the drive alive. What in the absolute world? What in the world here as Woolen was just staring right at the Rams silent? That's not a penalty. Unbelievable. What? But the Rams will take it either way, but that's not a penalty. It's about discipline in this matter. On the play, faking is Stafford. He's going to air it out left side. Wide open! Back pedal to the end zone! Touchdown! Puka Nacua! Statement grab! And this crowd is still irate after the taunting penalty. It's slight bobble and right onto the pylon of the end zone. That is a touchdown. Landed on both of his buttocks inbounds. That equals 2 feet. Just a little stutter towards the outside on Woolen. That's where the intermediate passes would normally go to. And Stafford airs it out left side. He got in. What a catch. What adjustment. Separation at its peak. And now another decision. Well, they're going to review it. So they're going to review every score here. It's going to take a lot to overturn it. So we're going to take a look at this further. We'll step away. Boca's first catch of the second half came at the best possible time for a touchdown, and the call has been confirmed. Tariq Woolen has to be... He dropped the interception. He got burned on the touchdown. He was mouthing something. There's something had to be said in which it mentioned in which it was a bad word or something. This extra point is good. So that throw to Nakua was right on the money. And Stafford has been methodical against man coverage. He's 7 of 12, 117 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Then we got an angle of what was said from the sky cam that Tariq Woolen may have said something that that was not approved by the league. And that's where the penalty came in. And the frustration continues. We haven't seen a lot of frustration from the Seahawks, but Woolen has to be shaking his head to being on the receiving end of that penalty. And then Nakua with that 34-yard touchdown grab. And against this Rams offense, the Seahawks picked a bad time to fall apart. This is going to be returned by Shaheed. He's dangerous. Ran into at the 27-yard line. That sequence, the free plays, that's been a nightmare. And there's a human element of this with the referees about how things are judged. Of course, the drama has been amped up to 100 in this game. 31-27, final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Eric Sauber in motion towards the right. Is it going to be an end around for Rashid Shaheed? Trying to get to space, misses the first tackle, but is only able to run back to the line of scrimmage. Quentin Lake had his eye on Shaheed. Cameron Kinchins was right in front. And the Rams will be without one of their best players for a moment as Kobe Turner went to the locker room. He is banged up. We were expecting a high-scoring game, and we got exactly that. A shootout in Seattle. Clock is still rolling. Shaheed motions all the way to the left. He's all alone. To running back utilization, Jackson Smith-Njigba is utilized as a running back. Play fake, Darnold, pressure from Deshaun Johnson, and he's going to throw it away. So Deshaun Johnson gets the pressure up the middle, and he had much in terms of pressure. He wasn't utilized a lot, but that time he got the pressure on Sam Darnold, made it uncomfortable, and forced him to throw the ball away. He's going to be subbed out. Bona Ford was also utilized on that play. What a nice spin for Matthew Stafford and Sam Darnold between these two quarterbacks. Same can be said about the last matchup. Stafford and Nakua had an all-time night on the season. Empty set, JSN motions left, 3 receivers left, 2 right. The Seahawks are 5-9 on third down. They just get it off in time. Pressure from Verse. Wide open is Walker. Lunges ahead. Where are they going to mark it? I think he got the first down. We'll have to see again. It's an out cut, and he reaches out. I think he got the first down. Cameron Curl got him on the inside, so he goes outside, forced him out. And a lot of separation for Walker to reach out and get that first down. He got exactly 10 yards, what was needed to get that going. Single back set, George Holani is the running back. Play clock down to 4, 3, 2, with Sauber in motion. They need to get it up, and they do. Darnold to pass it. Pressure from the left, now in front. And Holani gets caught up on the shoestring. That was Nate Landman, the team's leading tackler, in his high-flying third quarter. What was a 17-13 Seahawks lead is a 31-27 Seahawks lead now at the end of the third quarter. The fourth quarter will come down to the wire. Who comes out on top here in Seattle? Find out when we return. $15 more minutes, at least, before this one is over and done with. Night has fallen here at Lumen Field. 31-27 is the Seahawks lead. Both teams had 2 touchdowns each. And this has been such an exciting game to watch. 2nd and 5 as the Seahawks are in a single back trips right set. Now motioning to the left, it's Eric Sauber. To the left of Charles Cross, the left tackle. Rams showing blitz. Cam Curl backs out of it. Nate Landman to audible. Rams send 4 after Darnold. Versus blocked off well. Now Darnold's going to run for it. To the left side. Has all sorts of room. And a first down. 14 yards. But this run for Darnold on the scramble. He sees nobody open. But he's a situational runner. He doesn't run the ball a lot. But when nobody is open, he's going to take it himself. Eric Sauber was not open just yet. He's going to take this himself. Dials up his own number. As a home team, the Seahawks have been efficient. Jake Bobo in motion. Trips right. Tight end left. Single back. Play fake. And Darnold cannot even throw the ball. Wrestled down by Cam Kinches, who gave him no chance to throw on the play fake. He comes right from the right, blitzing the B gap or the C gap. Nobody even picked him up. And the offensive line was caught napping on that. A free gap for Kinchins to run through on the play action pass. And it could not go through anywhere. 21 of 30, 306 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Sammy D. 33 dropbacks, 3 sacks, 13 pressures. Darnold on 2nd and 19 now. Throws short left side. Cup caught it. He's got about 5 there. Taking it across midfield. And here on third down, we'll see what the call is from Seattle on Quint Kubiak's offense. 3rd and 15, as Kupp got 4 yards on that catch. Kubiak is the offensive play caller. Go shotgun set. Walker is the running back. Motioning left is A.J. Barner. The Seahawks are 5-7 on 3rd down, 95 yards. All of those passing plays have been for a first down. Oh, there's movement. And there is a false start unless there was movement for the defense. Unabated from Jared Verse. As what Quay Morton said, Verse came in unabated from the quarterback. It's neutral zone infraction, and this makes it 3rd and 10. That's very costly for the Rams, and you cannot do that. That was basically the equivalent of a free play if that was an offside. Verse was lined up against Cross. 3 receivers left, 1 to the... Now, 3 receivers left, 3 receivers right, 2 left. Empty set for Darnold. 4-man rush for the Rams. Darnold goes right side, knocked away by Kobe Durant or Rashid Shaheed. Shaheed being the primary target of his pass, and that would have been for a first down, but that was punched out by Durant at the last moment to force the punt from Ethan Evans. Kyron Williams is back deep for the Rams. LA has changed punt returners. Xavier Smith has 2 muffs in this game. Williams is the new punt returner. And here's Dixon who sends this one off. And Williams will fair catch it at the 10. And Williams does what he was on there to do. In the Pacific Northwest, in this shootout, we're in for a fun game. We'll be back. We're back here in Seattle. 12:10 to go in the 4th quarter. Rams trying to advance to the Super Bowl for the 3rd time in the Sean McVay era. The Seahawks trying to advance to the Super Bowl for the first time since 11 seasons ago. They made it to the Super Bowl in the first 2 years of the Legion of Boom era. It says not made it. This is a second year of the Dark Side era. Ernest Jones calling for a defensive audible, poking Nakua in motion towards the left. Here is Blake Corum on the run, outside, left. And he's carrying several defenders with him, and he's got a first down. 10 yards for that tough-minded Corum, the Michigan Wolverine. As we're seeing this slugfest here early defensively in the first quarter, but the third quarter turned into an offensive shootout. Rams trying to sap the momentum out of the Seahawks. One of those keys being the Kobe Durant pass breakup. Matthew Stafford's 13 of 21 for 265 yards and 3 touchdowns. Colby Parkinson motions right. Play fake. And Stafford dumps off Williams. Gets the edge on Drake Thomas. Another first down. Gets by 2 defenders, but gets shoestringed at the 35 by Devon Witherspoon. 15 yards on the catch and run. And Williams is doing what is asked. Stafford's up to 280 yards passing. And he has just 14 incompletions as well. He's going with the big plays. The Seahawks have been susceptible to the big play in this game, and that's what's bit them. Outside runs have also bit them throughout. Kanata Mumpfield, wide to the left. Play fake. Stafford rolls towards the pocket. Throws that way to Williams, who stutter steps past one tackler. One's ahead. Makes another man miss. 13 yards before being driven out. Devon Witherspoon, the Pro Bowl quarter for the Seahawks, got juked out by Kyron Williams along the left side. And Williams has been excellent throughout this game. He has a touchdown catch, and Stafford showcasing his worth. Stafford as well, showing why he's the presumptive MVP frontrunner. Injured Seahawk is Drake Thomas. He is able to walk off under his own power, so he has to miss at least one play. And because he has his helmet on and walking off under his own power, he is going to return soon. We are assured of it. We're still waiting for the statuses of Jordan Whittington and Kobe Turner, who are questionable to return. 3 receivers right, 1 left, single back. Terrence Ferguson motions left. It's a play fake to Williams. Stafford in the pocket. He's going to air it out again to Mumpfield. Too far. Tariq Woolen in coverage. He was closer to the ball than Mumpfield was. And this is a perfect case of cause and effect. Xavier Smith fumbled for the second time on a punt return. And that's an absolute no-no. Jake Bobo takes advantage of it. Tariq Woolen does a taunting penalty. And he said something to the Rams sideline that was not approved by the NFL. And that's what drew the penalty. And right afterwards, Puka Nacua had that long touchdown grab. Yet another play fake. Seahawks send pressure. Stafford loads up. Instead dumps off to Parkinson. Stiff arms a man. And gets it to the Seahawks 35. Colby Parkinson says, "Get off me." Ryan Wendell, a former Tom Brady teammate, with excellent protection calling for excellent protection to pick up the blitz from the Seahawks, and that's what allows Stafford to dump the ball off to Parkinson. 35 yards to pay dirt, trips left, 1 right, shotgun. Seahawks in 4 this time around. Stafford looks right, dumps off to Corum. This time Seattle gets to him. Just 2 yards this time. And Stafford has been the big play man throughout this game. He is not afraid to throw the deep ball. And this offense has exploded into the 309 passing yards from Stafford. Now 311. 3 touchdowns from Stafford, 17-26. In the first half, he has thrown for 125 yards and 1 touchdown, 8 of 15. And this half, he is 9 of 11, 486 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Shotgun set. Blake Corum is in at running back. 3 receivers left. Stafford dumps out for Corum. Corum trying to get towards the first down. He's a yard shy. Jones and Witherspoon save the first down. The first down marker is the 25-yard line, and we'd assume that LA could show run here because it's 3rd and 1. Seattle has showed pressure all season long while just rushing 4. And they're so good at getting to the quarterback while only managing to send 4 or 5 rushers after the QB. because of the talent that they have at their disposal. 7 pressures. Stafford was sacked just once. Ferguson motions. It's a play fake. Stafford gets it to Parkinson. And he might have walked in for the touchdown, and he dropped it. Oh my goodness. And the Rams are not hesitating. They're going to go for it. I thought this was a catch. And Parkinson could not hang on. The play out to the right. And he caught the edge of the football. Oh, that's got to sting. What an answer that would have been. Rams are going for it. Stafford's in a shotgun set. 2 left and 2 right. Motioning right is Ferguson. They're going to throw it. Stafford's in trouble. Wrapped up, gets away. And he has the first down. There was stuff flying all over the place. And Stafford, who doesn't run much, he gets 3 yards out of it. Despite being wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. DeMarcus Lawrence had it with him, but could not. A towel came loose after the matter of fact. But Matthew Stafford doesn't run that much. And that time he goes up the middle, seeing everything was taken away. Seahawks intent of getting pressure. Blake Corum cuts right, and he's driven backwards, flag down. Nick Eamon with the stop behind the line. We'll have to see what this flag is. There might be a jump. And there was a jump. It's going to be 1st and 5. That's Tyrese Knight called for offside. He tried to jump the line of scrimmage. 18 of 28 for 380 yards and 3 touchdowns. Stafford leading the way. And he has the penchant of showing up in the clutch. That time he did. I don't think Knight was offside. That looked like it was Boye Mafe who was offside. He's doing everything here to lead the Rams to a win here. Eamon Warren is on the edge, lined up as a rusher. Xavier Smith is in motion. Play fake to Corum. Stafford fakes the screen. Now he's going to run up front. Pitches to Nacua. Here's Puka Nacua. He runs for the first down. Out of the 12. He can do everything. He can practice that a lot. It's a pitch play to Puka Nacua. Disguising a run towards the right side. And disguising a run up the middle. And on the pitch, Stafford finds his wide receiver 1. Fakes a screen left. Then takes off. Pitches to Nacua. It's a forward pass. So it's a de facto forward pitch. Shotgun set. First down marker is the Seattle 2. Stafford dropping back. Over the middle to Nacua. 5 yards. He is stymied at the 7-yard line. Kobe Bryant and Tyrese Knight both there. There's 6:12 left in this fourth quarter as Nacua gets the call to get back onto the field and on the huddle. 330 passing yards for Stafford in this game. And Nacua, 7 catches, 121 yards. He is off the field for this sequence. Could this be another time in which Davante Adams has a touchdown grab? Play clock out to 8. They get out of the huddle. Single back set. It's a weak side eye set. Run out the middle for Kyron Williams. He's tripped up by Knight. Immediately. It was 2nd and 4. Now it's 3rd and maybe 3. An elite run defense showing up at the right possible moment and poke us back. Sean McVay calling the shots from his headset. 231 total yards in this half for the Rams, 113 for the Seahawks. Seattle aided by a muff punt return from Xavier Smith. All over the left side is Davante Adams. Watch out for him there. 3 receivers are to the right. Stafford looks to Adams' way. Now he steps right side. Pump fakes. Throws right. And a battle for the ball. Knocked away. Kanata Mupfield had it knocked away by Devon Witherspoon. And now what do you do if you're the Rams? And Adams was forced out, so he gets taken out of the equation because if he comes back, that's illegal touching. Stafford gets forced towards the right side. Everybody was well covered. Rams are going to go for it on 4th and 4. First down marker is the 2-yard line. They can still get a first down. Rams are going to go for it. Stafford looking middle. Knocked away. Witherspoon again with a pass breakup, and the Seahawks will take over. Devon Witherspoon with one of the biggest plays of his life. 2 of them, in fact. He knocked away that pass. And with 4:54 left, Seattle's in front. We'll be back. The defensive coordinator, Eden Durde, with simulated pressure on 4th down. They fake the blitz, and Matthew Stafford decides to throw towards the middle, but Witherspoon had Terrence Ferguson all locked up towards the middle. He wanted to contest the catch, didn't get it. Witherspoon, one of the best corners in the game. Break that up, and maybe this is understandable knowing that the Rams have been outstanding defensively in this half. Seattle's backed up at their 6-yard line as a result of Witherspoon not intercepting it. Seattle has 3 timeouts. LA has all 3 as well. 31-27. Winner faces the Patriots in the Super Bowl. On the first run, Walker gets 3, maybe 4 yards out of this. It all starts with the run game and the play action pass too. 2nd and 6. It's a 4-yard run from Walker. They were trying to get things going on the ground game. It's another run. No, it's a play fake. Darnold under duress, throws left side. It is Walker, gets away for the first tackle and gets space for himself. Has the first down, stiff arms, and takes it to the 25. Oh my goodness, the moves that Kenneth Walker's been making all throughout. In the play action, Walker gets away from Byron Young. And when Spates comes in high, and Landman as well trying to make the tackles, Walker, he forced several missed tackles on this play. It's hard to get on for the ground. Walker on a single back set here. Time winding down for the Rams, seeing their season on the line. Trips right with Shaheed motioning that way. Here's Walker again. And he gets blown up. He gets 3 yards. The Rams are going to call their first timeout. And one can question about whether or not Seattle should have taken the points. However, if they took the points, then they'll be down by just one. This is Sean McVay trusting his defense. And this shootout, you have to get a lot of points. You need more than just 3. You need 7 here. And you think about whether or not the Rams should have gone for 2 and one of their touchdowns. In this upcoming Super Bowl matchup, whoever comes out the NFC against the New England Patriots, it's going to be a thriller to watch. 2nd and 8, as they said, Walker got 2 yards on that one. Motioning right is Eric Saubert. Lined up as a fullback to the left of Darnold. George Olani is the running back. Now Barner motions right. Darnold holds onto it on play action. Darnold airs it out right side. He throws it away. Incomplete. Rashid Shaheed was wide out. Now it's 3rd and long. No flags come out. And the ball was not catchable, so there are no penalties here. Shaheed was wide open on the route. And you think it got turned, he got turned around. The lake had him turned around. There was a shove. And I think, could there be contact? I think the ball was catchable. And here's a big play coming up for the Seahawks. Clock stop with 3:20, and now another timeout is called. This time it's Seattle. Oh, each side is discussing things over. 31-27, Seahawks lead in the NFC Championship game. .320 left here. Seattle called timeout to discuss their offensive play on 3rd and 8. They've been good on 3rd down, throughout this game. You want to find Jackson Smith-Njigba on a situation like this. Maybe even Cooper Kupp. Two receivers right. Three receivers left. Now A.J. Barner motions right. George Olani comes back to the left of Sam Darnold. This is a change of formation. 3 right, 1 left. With Olani the running back. Now motioning left is Kupp. Rams blitz here on 3rd down. He throws left side and it is Kupp! And it comes out! Did he get the ball to begin with? Or is this going to be incomplete? They're going to say 1st down. The Rams can still challenge the play if they want to because we're before the 2-minute warning. And that's exactly what Kupp wants here. He was down by contact. And there was nobody on the inside part. And that was a funnel play in which the middle of the field was exposed and Kupp caught it. Rams call timeout. And there's... See if the Rams are going to challenge the spot the ball. Very close. If you're Sean McVay, do you use a timeout? Get the ball? And this is very close for many reasons. And we want to wonder if this is a catch first. And also if this is if the down by contact ruling applies, if this is a 1st down. It's going to be very hard to overturn. He got both feet down, of course. Yeah, he definitely caught it. But the question is, did he get the 1st down? And McVay has decided not to call it a timeout. Not to call a challenge. 4 catches, 36 yards, and a touchdown for Kupp. For his hometown team. Motioning left is Shaheed. You'd imagine the Seahawks are going to run here with Walker, and they will. Cannot find any space. He just gets back to the line of scrimmage. 3:05 left. And now the Rams are going to call their final timeout. And now the Seahawks are managing clock. The Rams do have the 2-minute warning with them. And Matthew Stafford has been known for 4th quarter heroics. He's been known for 4th quarter and overtime heroics. He has led the Rams to back-to-back game-winning drives in this postseason. And the Rams have game-winning drives on their final 3 playoff games to their Super Bowl run in Stafford's first year as a Ram. Sam Darnold under center. Single back, Holani, running back. Shaheed in motion towards the right. 2 tight ends on the play, Sauber and Barner. Play fakes. Darnold's going to throw, roll out right side. And here's the catch from Smith-Njigba. He is out of bounds. The clock will roll. He's inbounds. A ridiculous route from JSN, the top receiver in the league. He gets this out towards the right side and is able to stay inbounds. He gave himself up. And he can use his explosiveness on every turn. And what a night it's been for him. 10 catches, 155 yards, and a touchdown. We have a stoppage here for a moment. What are we waiting for here? But as we want to go up front here, Seattle has the championship DNA with this. Sean McVay. So the stoppage was the discussion about whether or not JSN stepped out of bounds or not. But after review, Jackson Smith-Njigba stepped out of bounds. The clock is now reset to 3 minutes. So not challenging seems like something that they want to have back. So now the clock is going to start on the snap because JSN went out of bounds. At least that's going to save the Seahawks some time. All Seattle needs is a first down and the game is over. You don't have to get it on this down. You have to get it on second down. Run the ball here, and that they will. Walker, middle. 3 yards on this. And they seem content with chewing clock. And a smart run over the middle of the defense. A lot of offense early as Smith-Njigba comes back. See if this is going to be a play fake for one matter. They're comfortable chewing more clock. Winner faces the Patriots. We are guaranteed a rematch of a previous Super Bowl. 2.5 minutes left. Fullback set here with Saubert the fullback. Barner motions right. And then he comes back left. This is a play fake here for Darnold. Sam Darnold swings it left side, wide, flag out. And this is going to be against the Rams. That is Kobe Durant called for holding. And he was grabbing onto Cooper Kupp. The twist of irony from 2 weeks ago in which Kupp fumbled the ball and Durant recovered it. Now Durant is responsible for a holding penalty in which he grabbed onto Kupp. An easy call to make. And that could essentially seal it for Seattle. Matthew Stafford shaking his head. Cam Curl's blitz, which he ran right through the middle of the defense. A similar type of play call here as Saubert motions to the left of Charles Cross. Emmanuel Forbes lined up 1-on-1 at the right side. On first down, this is a run for Walker. Spins out one man. He is met with several blockers. And the Seahawks keep pushing him to get some more yardage. That's going to work well for them as we come to the 2-minute warning. The Seahawks are a first down away from Super Bowl 60 in a rematch of Super Bowl 49. That spin move right around Brayton Fisk keeps the Seahawks on the driver's seat. I'll be right back. The George Halas Trophy is here. 2 minutes left. 1 first down ends it. It is 2nd and 3. And we can assume it's going to be a run play for Kenneth Walker. The third tight end, Nick Callerup, is on the field for this play. I'm going to say 2nd and 4, actually. You need 4 yards for Walker. This is Walker. He gets stuffed. Driven backwards to the 40-yard line. And because the Rams are out of timeouts, they cannot stop the clock. Knowing that the clock is your friend, Seattle can run it. It's a loss of 3. And if you're Sam Darnold, of all the tumultuousness you've been through, a first-round pick, 3rd overall by the New York Jets, never panned out there, ruined by bad coaching, with Adam Gase, Matt Rule with the Carolina Panthers, took a 1-year deal with the 49ers as a backup, as a timeout was called by Seattle, a 1-year job with the 49ers as the backup to Brock Purdy, and that was the best thing to happen to him as he went on to sign a deal with the Vikings as a 1-year starter, and he got his career back on track. Now in Seattle, he's showcasing his worth as a Joe Flacco-type quarterback. And he is getting his confidence back here and proving himself as a legitimate NFL starter on a 3-year deal with the Seahawks. In the 2nd year of the Mike McDonald era, this is the McDonald team that he has assembled. Both teams have combined for 836 total yards. Matthew Stafford has 330 passing yards, and Darnold has 346. What a redemption it's been for Sam Darnold. Bunch set for the Seahawks. Smith-Njigba is in motion, play fake, and Darnold is going to get sacked. Braden Fisk gets to him, but it's going to help the Seahawks some more because it's going to run down the clock to about 20 seconds before the Rams get the ball. The Rams' best prayers are if it's going to be a Hail Mary twice. Braden Fisk gets to Sam Darnold and sacks him down for that loss of yardage. If you're Michael Dixon, you may want to pin the Rams in the coffin corner. And Kyron Williams is not the normal punt returner, but with the fumbles by Xavier Smith, he is slotted in. Get it off of 1 second. Dixon, where's it going to be? It's going to be a fair catch at the 8-yard line. 25 seconds. No timeouts. You need to work the sidelines if you're the Rams. Go deep. And Matthew Stafford, if this leads to a successful touchdown, and we could be looking at one of the best miracles that could have ever been pulled off. 93 yards. Realistically, you need 2 plays. Deep throw, go out of bounds, then another deep throw, and a Hail Mary from midfield, ideally in midfield. Here come the Rams. And it's a zip over towards the middle. It's Nakua at the 30. You need to clock it. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. They clock it with 10 seconds. Now you need 70 yards. And from this point, you may need to have a hook and ladder play. You can get a 60-yard throw. If you're the Rams, you need a hook and ladder play. Jackson Smith-Njigba kneeling down the sideline in prayer. And this defense makes life for opponents very tough. Officially, it's 353 passing yards for Stafford on the day. Seattle's defense is getting set, and the Seahawks are going to call their final timeout. Yeah, they called that timeout just in time. So take a breath. Exhale for a moment. Picture yourself. Who would you be? And right after the catch, you may ideally need a hook and ladder play and you need it for a big game. It's desperation. It's a miracle part of this. Both of these teams have been excellent throughout the season. This season series between these two has delivered thriller after thriller after thriller. This one no different, and the biggest one of them all. This drive can decide it. Here's Stafford holding on to it. Throws right side. Caught! And did he get inbounds? No! He was not out of bounds in time! Seattle is going to advance to Super Bowl 60! What a game! They will check it, but if it stands, Puka Nacua did not go out of bounds in time. We'll see. And the knee was down in bounds. The clock has run out. Unbelievable game. Unbelievable finish. Unbelievable postseason. And a career redemption for Sam Darnold can come complete with this last step in this rematch of Super Bowl 49. Everything was worth it. And the biggest game of them all is going to be the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. 2 weeks from now, we will be there. As we get to you to your final stats of this game, Sam Darnold is your player of the game. 25-36 for 346 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 10 catches, 153 yards, 1 touchdown. Kenneth Walker with 19 catches, 62 yards, 1 touchdown. The other touchdowns from Cooper Kupp and Jake Bobo. That touchdown grab was the only catch for Bobo. Kupp with 4 catches, 36 yards. Walker 4 catches, 49 yards. And the Seahawks recovered a muff punt from Xavier Smith. No interceptions from either QB to speak of. 2 pass breakups from Devon Witherspoon, and that's on back-to-back plays in the end zone. Nick Eamon-Worry with 3 pass breakups. Tariq Woolen with 2. He's coming to his own with redemption this season. DeMarcus Lawrence has the only sack for Seattle. The leading tackler is Ernest Jones with 8 for the Seahawks. On the losing end, the Rams, Matthew Stafford, 22 of 35, 374 yards, and 3 touchdowns. One of them to Puka Nacua with 9 catches, 165 yards, 1 touchdown. Devontae Adams, 4 catches, 89 yards, and 1 touchdown. Blake Corum, 9 carries, 55 yards. Kyren Williams with 10 carries, 39 yards. Williams also had 2 catches for 22 yards. Smith lost the fumble. That was on one of the muff punts. He had 2 of them. Omar Speights, the leading tackler of 11. 1 tackle for a loss. 2 pass breakups from Kobe Durant. 1 each from Quentin Lake, Nate Landman, and Jalen McCullough. The Rams season is over. It is the Seahawks and the Patriots in Super Bowl 60 at Santa Clara, California. We'll see you there. I am Alec Nava, saying so long from the Pacific Northwest. Have a good night, everyone.